this show on the road. Yo, mic test, mic test. Hello. Bro, we haven't even fully started yet. Chill. I'm just hyping myself up. Wow. Oh, wait. Want to thank you all for all you do. Really helped me as I've been healing in the hospital. Magnus Bougon. Thanks, man. We'll try to entertain you. You don't have to slug your way through this silly stream. If you're in hospital. Don't want to bore you. Alright, I'll put the link this song. He's a Viking, is he? Skål! Suteki! That's good to hear. So, I should probably pin this message just in case. Might stop stream randomly. Randomly mid-stream to make a Baalbuddy comic. Just a heads up. There we go. Woo! Azusa. Oh man, I love the song, but the last 2 minutes are so doesn't fit at all. All right, where were we? Wait. Oh. You know what? Let's put one more. God damn it, man. I used Tataru Yamashita to hype me up, but I'm like, you know what? Let's play one more. What can go wrong? And here's the link before somebody else asks what song. Alright, let me actually launch the game now. What game? Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. So if you're here expecting action-packed, high-octane energy stream, it's probably not for you. You're welcome to leave. I don't mind. I'm just here for the story and for anyone else interested for the story. Jody. Let me mute that for a sec. When I say you're welcome to leave, I don't mean that in like a very intimidating way. I'm just saying like, you don't have to stay here. Oh shit! Oh shit, this is very important. Okay. Okay. I think it was gonna be like a long ass cutscene. Alright, I guess we're just gonna head straight to it, cause oops. Image. Yeah, okay. Where are we? Let me get chat up. Hello, welcome to Great Ace Attorney Chronicles stream number, episode, blah blah blah, who cares? Nobody does that shit anymore. What the hell do you think this is? 2015? Let's Plays? Episodes? Nobody does that shit anymore, dude. What are you? I bet none of you have even, like, watched Tabascas. Like, you're too young for that or something. You're all under the age of 18 in my eyes. Hello, audience! Alright, previously an Ace Attorney. Some dude got shot. I think that's every Ace Attorney case, really. Somebody got shot. Yeah, you know what? Let's just go for it. Two Best Friends. Ah, dude. Yeah, man. I used to watch Two Best Friends as well. And then they split up. Yo, Solus, why are two Ace Attorney streams private? No, they're not. What do you mean? Wait. Sorry, let me just check that real quick. I was supposed to unlist them. Maybe I privated them by accident. It's fine. It's not like anyone's dying to watch these. Let me just check. One, two, three. Oh, wait. Ah, motherfucker. No, it's public. Oh, wait, what? Private. Oh! No, sorry, you're right. I did private them by accident. Yeah, they're privated. I was meant to unlist them. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you, Sam. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Sam, have you translated that Arabic translation for me? Not translated, but like, could you send me? Are you able to send me the text so I can use it? Or whatever. Alright, let's just get into it.
So this is the article in question, is it? The small box deposited with the pawnbroker by Mr. McGilded 2 months ago.
And on the night of Mr. Windybank's murder. Wasn't able to, I'm sorry, that's fine. The only oh wait, does anyone know how to speak Arabic here? There's at least 40 of you guys. I'm hoping one of you speak Arabic. Read Arabic or whatever. The only item on the shelves that was touched by whoever broke into the shop.
Quick! Let's open and see what's inside.
Ooh. It's a music box.
Good gracious! This is no ordinary box, it seems.
Spaghetti 69 is Arabic. Or maybe he's just memeing. Let me see if I can get a quick translation. Highly unprofessional, I know. But I take my comic dubbing very seriously, you know. So this counts as work as well. I just need you to type out the Arabic for this picture. For this comic. I'm not gonna show the entire thing because I don't want to spoil it. Because I know there's spies in this audience right now.
It could be one of you. It could even be you. It could even be...
Assorted. Short story. Have you tried the Google Translate with images? I couldn't find that. Alright, I don't even know if you're gonna be able to see this properly. Also, OBS is kind of glitching out. You can kind of see a bit of it. Alright. Can you see that? Only works on the Android app, it seems, on the smartphone. The music makes it sound like it's part of the, it's part of the game. Huh, what does this Arabic translation mean?
My learned Arabic friend.
Whoa, Van Zix, you can't say that. Any Arabic people, write that down. Wait a second, it's Old Arabic. Old Arabic? Objection! Van Zix can't read Arabic. Old Arabic? What? Are you talking like medieval, like that old? Alright, when you say Old Arabic, do you mean like, oh, thou hast done me wrong? Like that kind of speaking Arabic? Oh, yea, he wept. The rivers of Babylon, like that kind of Old Arabic? Hina. I don't know what that means. Alright. I mean, he doesn't know, so we'll just leave it at that, I guess. We're gonna need the historian here as well. Love the content. Thank you, Draven. Alright. There's like a bit of a glitch with OBS right now where I have to put display and game capture on so that the quality isn't crap. Wow! Although in truth, I had an inkling that might be the case.
It would appear that the box houses a miniature music box movement.
Wait, I will ask my mom. Let me ask my mom if she knows Old Arabic. How old is your mom? 400 years old. You're gonna have to like... I don't want to waste her time. Just go back. I'm not gonna put it out again. You can just go back. No, sorry, I didn't mean it like that. It's a Call of Duty reference. It's not like we're not a racist bar or something.
Then, is it too much to expect? I think it would be reasonable to assume that it is a device for the playback of this disc, my lord.
Finally, we can play the disc now.
No, remember, no Japanese. So here we have the means to play back Mr. McGilded's disc. Deposited at Windy Banks at much the same time. Not strictly correct, my lord. It was not McGilded's disc. It was the disc of his victim in the omnibus. But why, for heaven's sake? Are we to understand that the brickmaker was trying to sell this music box disc to Mr. McGilded?
Sir? I believe the answer will become clear if we listen to the music on the disc, my lord.
Yes, very well. Let the court now listen to this curious disc at last.
Hold it!
I always get taken back by Gregson's voice.
Wait, my lord! Good grief! What is the meaning of this, Inspector? The music box in the disc room. Well, they're unrelated to the case.
That just makes it even more suspicious when you say it like that.
No need to spoil the somber atmosphere in the corner with some silly bit of music.
This disc may very well have motivated the culprit in this case to commit murder. Clearly, there's every chance that it's fundamentally important to understanding what happened. The prosecution has no objection.
But no! That piece of evidence is police property.
Clearly, Scotland Yard has some vested interest here. But it is policy of this prosecutor to leave no avenues unexplored. And you, Inspector, have no jurisdiction here to prevent that from happening.
Good! No further delays, please. Play the disc. Put that shit on. Pass me the aux cord. What on earth? That's certainly not what I would call music.
I'm calling it now. Alright. So yeah, Morse code, I was about to say. You know how Graydon is a telegram expert? And how he was trying to talk to, Gregson? It's Morse code. And he's a telegram expert, and they're obviously working together. So it's obviously Morse code. It has to be. Please don't get your teacher. Don't try to ask everyone. Just leave it. I don't need the translation. I just need the actual text so I can put it on Google Translate so I know what it sounds like phonetically. That's all I know. That's all I want. So as long as you can look at the picture and then just type it on chat. No. It's just the same note playing over and over again in an irregular sequence, almost like Morse code.
Huh. Mr. Graydon?
This really is priceless. I'm gonna JoJo pose, because I'm too happy. After all that, the music box is broken. He knows. He fucking knows. He's just saying that to like cover it up. Because he's a telegram expert. He knows the Morse code. He's trying to make it look like it's broken. Broken? It can't be, can it?
Well, obviously. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the officer sent to fetch it didn't drop it on the way back to the courtroom.
He's bullshitting, I know! You're a telegram communications officer. You already know what it probably said. The lady in Dream might help shed light on this. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure that lady knows as well. She's a communications officer. We can ask her.
Well, with much regret, I feel the court must accept this. Music box offers little in the way of clues.
Come on, Van Zeeks. You know as well.
Are you ready to move on, counsel?
No. Come on. Yes, alright. It does sound as though it's completely broken, but is it? Vsauce music. Could this music emanating from the music box possibly a new clue? It is a new clue. I knew it was Morse code before they even played the music box. I believe that it could be relevant, my lord.
Good lord! But how can it be? It's an abomination, counsel, a mere noise. I fail to see how it can have any meaning whatsoever.
Music is just noise. It does sound strange, I agree. But there's one thing bothering me. While Graydon stands there chortling victoriously, the inspector beside him has a rather telling expression on his face. Man, they're really shit at lying. They would suck at Eleanor. It's as if Gregson recognizes the sound, as if he's familiar with it somehow. And that's making him appear extremely on edge. If that's the stance of the defense, my Nipponese friend, answer me this. Oh. Ooh. What's your question, Van Zeeks? Just what relevance do you propose this woeful chiming has on this case? It's the defense's belief that the sound emanating from this music box is not supposed to be music. It's Morse code. Just because this is a music box, it doesn't necessarily mean the sounds we're hearing are music.
Huh?
Look at that. The smile vanished from Graydon's lips as soon as I said it. I'm on the right lines here. I must be.
Heh, making deductions based on how people react to what you say. You're acting just like early, Runo.
Objection!
The sounds we're hearing aren't necessarily music. Well, now that you've told us what they are not. Any Norse code experts? Is there anyone from the year 1800 that can decipher this code? I'm sure the court would like to hear what they are. Do enlighten us, my Nipponese friend. I hope that whenever Ace Attorney this Ace Attorney, Great Ace Attorney Chronicles gets an anime, I want to be the one that voices Van Zeeks. Oh, dude, even though like the in-game voice sounds nothing like the voice I'm doing, I will try my best to get the actual voice just so I can say Nipponese on live anime. Well, surely you have an idea in mind. Because if not, it will be the death of your ill-formed argument.
Exactly. The music box is clearly broken. Refusing to accept that fact is pure foolishness.
They got me. I don't know what the answer is. Yet. Runo, why am I looking at the audience? Oh.
I've just examined the music box very thoroughly. And I'm fairly certain that it's not broken at all.
Excuse me. Really?
Really? The way it's been made, it can only produce a single note anyway.
If I'd be happy with an anime adaptation, to be honest. Yeah, sometimes. To be honest, the anime adaptation of the first Phoenix Wright was kinda meh. I watched it. I don't think I even finished it. I watched like the first half and then I got bored. It's kinda hard to adapt a Ace Attorney game now that I'm thinking about it. Thank you, Iris. Oh. Alright. Well, if the music box isn't broken, it must mean that the sounds it's producing have some significance that isn't musical. Bro, the entire audience and me have figured this out before everyone's like, oh, what could this be if it's not music? Ah. Could it be? Is that what these sounds are? The abridged version. Was there an abridged? Are you talking about the really, really old one of like the bullshit evolved one? Because that one's actually fucking funny. Phoenix Wright bullshit evolved. I don't know if you could call that abridged though. Because that's just like shit posting in the early 2010s.
Something's just struck me, Runo. I feel like recently, in the past few hours even, I've heard another sound very much like the one this music box makes.
Yeah, I wonder. Yes, it's a familiar sound. Actually, Iris, I was just thinking exactly the same thing.
I'm going to have to press the defense for an answer.
Well, does Iris have a manly voice? I'm sure the viewers can explain that to you.
If your assertion is that the sound produced by this music box is not in fact music at all, then what the devil is it, Council? What the devil?
All the evidence we've seen so far, all the testimony we've heard, it's all pointing to one single answer now. The prosecution demands that my learned Nipponese friend presents proof now. Tangible proof of this latest wild speculation. Alright then. This could be the best chance I'm going to get to fight back in this trial. And if I'm right, it's going to join all the dots together. The evidence that explains the true nature of the sounds on this music box is... Wait, what? How do I... What evidence do I use to show that it's Morse code? I know it's Morse code, but what do I use to make... I never even tried to do a Scottish female voice. Did I? Did I try that? I feel like I just went straight into Scottish male voice. Like, no hesitation. How can I... What evidence do I use? You have the motive in the evidence. No, it says the evidence that explains the true nature of the sounds on this music box. Oh, wait. This one. The, what was it? The foreign power is trying to get, intercept communications on Great Britain.
Today's paper.
Yes, I fucking called it. Oh, that feels good. I did it before anyone else said.
Today's paper, Council. The headline is Pawnbroker Perishes in Pickpurse Plunder. Hardly supportive of your cause.
Ah, no, my lord. I was hoping you'd look a little further down the page.
Further down. Ministry Mole. Classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice. Yes, this is a very serious matter. Being investigated at the highest level, I understand.
That's why Gregson doesn't want it played. Because we probably just spilled state secrets to the Russian spy now. I have heard that international transmissions along supposedly secure lines are somehow being intercepted and leaked to various other countries. And presumably, those transmissions are in the form of wired telegrams. Of course. Just juror number 5, your input please. Thank you. Stop. Oh, Misha? What is the matter? You told the court before that you worked at the same communication station as Mr. Graydon, did you not? Yes, that's correct. And the particular station where you work deals with government communications and newspaper reports? Oh yes, we're not your run-of-the-mill communication station at all. Our work is extremely important. Then tell me, is this not a very familiar sound? Finally. She better be useful. You don't mean to say, is it? That's right, madam. It bears more than a passing resemblance to the sound made by your telegraph machine as you tap it. I believe it's called Morse code. But I don't believe it. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but when it comes to leaking telegrams from government departments, there could be nobody more perfectly placed than a highly skilled communications officer. Are you suggesting that the music box disc contains stolen government secrets and Morse code? That's why McGilded is so rich, because he's being paid by other countries.
Order! Please, everyone, order! But this is high treason, Council, deserving of capital punishment.
Took them like 15 minutes to reach a point we've all reached in a second. Exactly.
Too much vocabulary. What is this treason? And what is capital punishment?
The sorts of words I'd expect you to know.
From our sovereign government's confidential information, hostile nations would surely pay almost any price.
Yes, and on that night 2 months ago, that was the very negotiation that was taking place inside the omnibus. Oh, But in the end, MacGilded perished, and the all-important disc lay unclaimed in the pawnbrokery.
My word!
In which case, whoever stole that information in the first place must surely have been beside himself with worry. Because if the disc were to be discovered before it found its way out of the country,
it would reveal an act of high treason, punishable by death.
So the culprit had no choice but to retrieve it. Give me a sec. And in order to do that, he would have to gain entry to the pawnbrokery illegally in the middle of the night. Because the article left behind by Mr. MacGilded would incriminate him too much if it got into the wrong hands. Isn't that right, Mr. Graydon?
You think I've been stealing government secrets? Preposterous! Absolutely preposterous! So in response to the defense's accusation, you claim complete innocence, do you? Well, of course I do. I've had to stand here in silence while that pretentious foreign lawyer has been prattling away.
Objection!
Then by all means, counter the charges, sir!
Oh shit! The Sigma Van Zeeks just threw the fucking glove on the floor as for a duel against Graydon now. Graydon has lost his Sigma privilege.
The prosecution demands the witness testifies. In response to the accusations brought by the defense.
Delighted, I'm sure.
The witness is reminded that the crime under scrutiny in this trial is the murder of the pawnbroker, Mr. Windybank. That being a most flagitious offense for which the law of this land sanctions the capital punishment. But the heinous act of high treason is no less serious a crime. I urge you to bear that in mind as you testify, Mr. Graydon. So then, let us proceed. You may...
Why are you holding it?
You gotta let us have the rabbit in the pocket, Governor. We got things to say.
I beg your pardon. Who do you think you are?
Name's not Skokin. Occupation is professional baddie.
Name's Ringo Skoker, but we ain't baddies enough to sell out our motherland.
That's right. We're what they call three Skokin brothers.
Bad timing, fellas. Very bad timing. A mere communications officer couldn't possibly steal confidential government information. Besides, the sounds produced by that music box aren't even Morse code. It was some low-class brickmaker negotiating with MacGilded anyway, was it not? I have no relation to the man.
Look, all we done is break into the gap for the other night, like what he told us to do.
If we know there was dodgy government secrets involved, we wouldn't have touched it.
Oh shit. I mean, they got sold out now anyway, so they're gonna sell him out.
Mr. and Mr. Skokin.
What we still do, Governor? What's up?
I take it that you not admit to the crime. On the night in question, you did indeed gain entry to the premises illegally. And moreover, you did so as a party of three, in collaboration with Mr. Graydon here.
We did, Gov, we did!
Yeah. His foot's floating.
Quiet down, please. What say you to that, Mr. Graydon?
I have no idea what these two ruffians are referring to.
You little rotter! Get us mixed up in all this monkey business! You never said nothing about no government secrets. It was supposed to be a straight-up job.
And what about the geezer whose shop it was, eh? Poor old bloke didn't have to die, did he?
Oh shit! He shot Windy Bank. Nice to know who your friends are. Whatever these men say, I deny the accusations.
Indeed. Well, I certainly wasn't expecting this little music box to become so significant in the proceedings. However, as it has, I will admit it into the court record as evidence.
Alright, let's go. The Skoken brothers are on our side now, baby. They're gonna be more inclined to help us. They're gonna be like, yo, I'll gladly help you take this fucker down. So is this newspaper headline accurate? Government communications are being intercepted?
How could I possibly know?
What do you mean by that?
Any important government communications are handled by high-level officers, by specialists.
General members of staff in the station where I work would never be entrusted with sensitive information.
Oh no, stop! Must say something.
Oh, that's the girl. Let me guess. Juror number 5. We regular communication station officers aren't as lowly as you're being led to believe. A team of us are responsible for setting up and testing the telegraphs used by the ministry. And Mr. Graydon is the team leader. Oh shit! Bro, you're just digging your grave deeper and deeper. Keep lying, bro. You've got your own co-worker against you. You got the 2 people you hired on the same night you tried to break into the pawnbrokery against you. Everyone's against you, bro. That's fascinating. What do you have to say to that? Graydon is a highly skilled operator, stop. Currently in presence of idol, stop.
Huh. So you had access to the equipment used for these confidential communications, Mr. Graydon. Well, what of it? The transmissions are always made behind closed doors, so they can't be heard. And in any case, all messages are sent and ciphered. Normal employees couldn't possibly understand them.
Oh no, stop. I must say stop. Dude. What are you trying to do, man? Mr. Graydon regularly attends meetings with ministry technicians and a ministry communications team. He assists them in ensuring that there are no errors in important international communications. And he's received the top prize at the cipher cracking convention 5 years in a row now. That's also fascinating. Bro, don't even... This woman knows more about you than you do yourself, dude. Why even bother lying at this point? She probably knows what color underwear you're wearing. Graydon is a highly skilled operator, stop. Currently in presence of idol, stop.
Well, your idol would appreciate it if you'd keep your mouth shut.
She should really pick her idols more carefully.
I tell you, this lawyer's accusations are completely unfounded.
I didn't kill that man. Stop. Must say something, stop. Graydon killed the man, stop. I saw him, stop.
Fuck, okay, I did kill the man. And I'm leaking government secrets.
Hold it!
They're not?
To anyone with a brain, that would be blatantly apparent on listening to that music box for even a few seconds.
Wait, what? Of course, of course.
Surely it can't be that my learned friend is unfamiliar with Morse code.
Ouch. He looks genuinely shocked at my ignorance. The Nipponese doesn't even know Morse code. I bet he communicates with his fellow Nipponese friends using fire and smoke signals. Oh. I would be more than happy to demonstrate the basics for you, sir. A lesson? here in court? Morse code is a continuous series of two distinct tones. Tones, you say? Yes, a short dot and a long dash. By combining those in different ways, you construct letters. I see. For example, this is A. And this is B. Oh wow, that's kinda cool. But when you listen to the sound produced by this music box, you can only hear one tone, don't you? But it sounds so similar. The rhythm of it is the same in everything. But there's no discernible meaning to this apparently random sequence of sounds. So your assertion is fundamentally flawed. This is not Morse code. No!
Really, you shouldn't be surprised.
What did I tell you? That music box is nothing but a worthless piece of scrap. Oh my god, this Kira motherfucker. Perhaps you might consider studying your subject matter before casting aspersions in future. Stop. Nothing to say, but stop.
Oh, it's so frustrating, isn't it?
Iris?
I mean, if the government secrets were somehow being leaked using the music box, so many other things would slot into place so nicely.
Could there still be something I haven't considered? Would it really be impossible to use this music box somehow to play back Morse code? Give it a try! There's still every possibility that this music box was instrumental in the leaking of government secrets. That's the belief of the defense, at least.
Objection!
Maybe it's not using normal Morse code. Maybe it's in a different type of code. I mean, it's still Morse code, but, you know, it's a code in a code. Does it please you in some way, my Nipponese friend, to repeat the same line of argument ad infinitum? It's already been established that to be Morse code, two tones are required. Dots and dashes. Yes, I'm well aware of that. Then what?
Well, it would appear the defenses of hypotheses to put forward. Huh? You had better present your idea at once, counsel. How do you propose that this music box, which appears to produce only a single tone, could have been used to cipher secret messages into Morse code?
Shit, we haven't actually examined this yet. This is the mechanism that turns the bumps on the disc into sound, isn't it?
Yes, the movement. It's all thanks to this comb, with its teeth that are plucked by the passing bumps. Usually the teeth on the comb are different lengths so that each one produces a different tone. But this comb is very strange. All the teeth are exactly the same length.
Well, what does that mean?
It means that no matter which tooth is plucked by the passing
Bumps. Oh, the music box will make the same sound. Oh.
I've never seen a music box like it before.
Yes, it is strange. A music box that can only play a single note. There has to be some significance to that, surely. What if the code is just all dots and no dashes? We just don't know the actual... Yeah, what if we take off the paper? See how the format gilded disc sits in a... It couldn't be a more perfect fit.
Don't...
Blah 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 blah. Please say something useful like taking off the paper. Just doesn't make any sense.
I wonder.
There's more to this music box. Maybe we take off the fucking... What if I just present the thing? I'm presenting it. Wait, maybe this gem does something. Nope, okay.
Got it!
Yes! This is it! Oh, it's wrong. Ow. I'm just gonna save. No! Was it that obvious? Inspect every nook and cranny first. I thought I thought it would work if we take out the paper. Alright, let's inspect it first. Ah, give me a sec. Oops. Oh! Oh! There's a button! Hey, yeah, blah blah blah. Alright. I wanna see what's inside. Oh! Isn't that convenient? Look at that! There's another movement on the other side! So does that mean you can set another disc to play back on this side? Yes, I think so. And it looks like the two movements are linked together. They're linked? So if you had two discs, it would both play back at the same time. Wait, does that mean there's two... Hold it! Blah blah blah. Alright, let's get to that thing. Morse code, blanket. Yeah, let me explain how Morse code works. Blah blah blah. Dot dash. A, B. Sounds familiar. Oh no! You fool! I'm Scottish. Music box. Okay, give it a try. Still blah blah blah. There's a second disc all along. Got it. Yes. This is it then. What do you mean? Oh my god, that is stupid. I'm not going through that shit again. What do you mean? Press the button first. For fuck's sake, man. Hold it. Blah, blah, Morse code. You don't know Nipponese. Morse code. Blah, blah, Morse code. Blah, blah. Dot dash. A B. There's a blah. Nipponese. No. I'm Scottish. Hello, I'm Irish. Okay. There's still every possibility. Objection. My Nipponese friend. For real, but it's the same thing as last time. Alright, please, click button. These fucking idiots. Oh! Oh, come on. Yes, I think so. Blah, blah, blah. Alright. It's because we loaded the save and we haven't done this one. Alright. Got it!
Good gracious! What am I looking at here? Another movement on the underside of the music box? What?
Yeah, let me check one more time just in case. Yeah, I'm gonna save now. I don't want to go through that shit again. Oh. First try. It appears, my lord, that the two movements are linked together. In other words, you can put two discs in this music box, and the sounds of both will play back at the same time.
Good heavens!
As the court has heard, Morse code comprises of two tones, a short and a long dash. Oh, a short dot and a long dash. A short. With a second disc in place, this music box could be used to generate Morse code and convey a message.
This is beyond a joke.
I'm sorry?
This poor excuse for a lawyer has absolutely no evidence to support his claims. Though, of course, if my learned friend were able to present the court with the second disc, that would be another matter. Well,
I can't at the moment.
huh.
And may I remind you, the court, that as the witness has pointed out, he was not the one, the omnibus, with MacGilded 2 months ago, striking a deal over the disc or discs.
Indeed, that was Mr. Mason, the brickmaker.
Exactly.
I had nothing whatsoever to do with it. Though it has holes, I must admit the argument presented by the defense has much promise. I believe the cross-examination should continue.
The link between Graydon and the victim of the omnibus case must be there somewhere, but I haven't found it yet.
Oh dear, it looks like you need to give your argument more strength, Runo. You will reiterate your testimony if you please, Mr. Graydon.
If I must, though I maintain exactly what I did at the start of this pointless cross-examination. Low-class brickmaker. So 2 months ago in that omnibus, MacGilded killed the brickmaker and stole the disc. Mr. Mason was a single man with almost nothing to his name. It seems he lived in an artisan quarter some years ago, but people there remember little about him. That doesn't make much sense though, does it? How would the humble brickmaker come to acquire secret government information? Maybe because he was a spy! I'm calling it now, Mr. Mason was a spy.
How indeed? Oh, how indeed?
There must have been somebody else involved behind the scenes in all of this. Somebody who acquired the disc and gave it to Mr. Mason in order to take it to the meeting with MacGilded and negotiate a deal.
Dear me. You may have it in it for me, sir, but I assure you, I have far more class than that.
An old brickmaker from an artisan quarter, and this well-to-do communications officer. If only I could find some evidence to link the two of them together. Oh, look at that fucking smirk, man. Look at that. That fucking smug face he has, like, oh, yes, you've got nothing on me.
If you have nothing more to add on that note, let us return to the witness testimony.
Hold it!
Like Mr. Graydon told you to do, you mean?
That's it, yeah. Who else, eh? See, me thought he was just popping over for a natter after all them years, but the writer had a dodgy job for us. Hey, Ash.
Of course he's not gonna say anything. Let me stop you there, Mr. Skoken. After all them years, you say. Do you mean to tell me that Mr. Graydon is an acquaintance of yours?
Well, it's a sociable kind of baddies, you know. Sure, let's say Graydon's an old China.
Excuse me. Is something wrong, Mr. Skoken?
Hey?
No, the other Mr. Skoken.
What? Oh, me?
When your brother was testifying just now, he said something that seemed to cause you to react.
Oh, I was just remembering the old days, that's all. We used to have a right old laugh together way back when.
Together with Mr. Graydon, you mean?
Yeah, with Ash, I mean.
Just gonna eat a pear.
I mean, you look at him now in his fancy whistle and flute, and you wouldn't Adam and Eve it. But when he was younger, he was from the poor part of town just like us.
Oh, is that so?
Oh, he was always a leery one. He had the brains. He had the savvy. Always coming up with them smart ideas like what? Like would never have gone through our heads.
God blimey, ain't that the truth? Remember Milverton and Skulkin's milk run? That was a corker, eh?
Save it until after the trial. Your reminiscing has no place in this courtroom. And neither does your fruit.
Oi, Gaze asked us a question, didn't he? And we was answering.
Yeah, we ain't done nothing wrong. Nevertheless, the court is not prepared to accompany you on your trip down memory lane. Counsel, can we turn our attention back to the testimony, please?
I don't know. Could that sentimental story be relevant somehow? Yeah, let's add it to the testimony. Fuck it, why not? My lord.
Yes, counsel.
The brothers' last sentimental statement could hold vital information relating to this case.
Very well, counsel. I will permit the brothers to supplement their testimony with that detail. Briefly, I hasten to add.
Say no more.
A skulkin's never skulkin'.
Good luck, Solus. Oh, thanks.
Milver and Skulkin's milk run.
Wait, let's do this one first. Okay, that's the one we did.
Hold it!
Yeah, like I don't know why you wouldn't want to add it. The game's giving you the choice, so it's kind of like telling you to add it. Anyway, what's the point of the choice? What's the point of choice in Ace Attorney games? So did you know nothing about this music box?
We didn't know nothing. We still don't know nothing. And we ain't planning to know nothing about it neither.
But 2 nights ago, you did indeed break into Windy Bank's pawnbrokery, didn't you? In your original testimony, you said that the door of the shop was ajar, and that it was like some kind of a sign begging you to go in. But the truth is, you were planning to break into Windy Banks all along, weren't you?
We were going for where? You're right there.
'Cause that's what he told us to do. It was his plan.
And why was it Mr. Graydon's plan to break into Windy Banks that night? Did you not ask the reason?
Well, he said the place was full of stuff worth nicking. That's what he told us beforehand anyway. Turned out it was a load of cobblers, didn't it? I wasn't best pleased, I can tell you.
In any case, if they know the real reason, it doesn't sound like they're going to give it away. Alright.
Hold it!
I'm sure I'm going to regret asking, but what exactly was that? Some kind of business?
Just a little scheme we had going back when we was youngsters. A bit of fun, really.
Delivering fresh milk to the locals, that what it was all about.
Aw, that's a nice little job. That sounds alarmingly legitimate. There must be a catch. Yep. I suppose since we're here, I should ask them to elaborate. But on what? The business name. Milverton. Maybe it's the name of, the Mason guy. We didn't really get that dude's last name. I'm gonna go with business name. Milverton. That has to be important. There's no way they're just gonna say Milverton and not have it be important.
Yeah, we deliver fresh milk to the locals, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of frustrated wives in London. Ain't no right nice.
Hey, you're right, bruv.
What do you mean by frustrated housewives?
We mean MILFs. You know, delivering milk to the MILFs, you know what I'm saying?
So this business was just a bit of fun, you say?
You could say that.
And it was just yourselves and Mr. Graydon involved.
Yeah, that's it.
Hello, Stephen. Milverton and Skulkin's milk run, was it? The Culkin brothers. That neat sour I just won the comment of the stream award.
A cockin' never's cockin'. We're the cockin' brothers.
Yeah, that's it.
And where did the Milverton part come from?
All right. I thought clever cloaks like you'd have worked that out. That is.
Oh?
Enough of this. How much longer are we expected to listen to this drivel?
Let me guess. You don't accept anything these two witnesses are saying. Yeah, isn't that suspicious? Tell me, why is it that it was only at the mention of the name Milverton that you decided to interject?
Because well...
Where the happiest of homes that one came from?
Yeah, his old man was struggling for money so much. His wife walked out on him.
She took the name Graydon then. See?
But Ash will always be Milverton to us.
Oh, Milverton. So that used to be your surname, did it?
Of course not. This is all bunkum. I've been a Graydon since I was born. Do you really think you could rely on the testimony of these two thieves, hmm?
Oh man, Graydon. These two are like such good lads. I mean, they're thieves, obviously, but they seem like good friends if you ignore the thief part. And you're just throwing them under the bus.
Your communications officer attached to the civil service. As such, your personal details will have been thoroughly checked at the time of your appointment.
Oh.
It would be a very simple matter, indeed, to sub one of those records, Mr. Graydon.
Oh! Yeah, let's go. Come on, Van Zeeks. Show him how it's done.
Well, it would appear that Mr. Skokin's testimony has been reliable, for once. You were born Ashley Milverton, then. Is that correct?
Ooh, are you gonna lie, bitch? Are you gonna lie?
Very well.
Oh, yes. They tried to kill Holmes. What if Graydon was... No, wait. What if it was Graydon that shot Holmes, though? So Ashley Graydon was once Ashley Milverton. That information could change things, and could turn out to be extremely important. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Huh. Well, okay, I'm gonna make a guess now. I don't know. I think they already confirmed that Mr. Mason doesn't have any children. But I was gonna guess maybe Ashley Milverton is the son of Mason. And that's why he wanna... I don't know. That's what I was thinking. All of a sudden, we seem to be... Oh, okay, there's nothing... There's never anything useful in this part. Would make a lot of... It would link him if he was the son.
But the trouble is, it wasn't Mr. Graydon in the omnibus with Mr. McGilded.
No, that was Mr. Mason, the brickmaker who was so horribly murdered.
If only there was some link between the two men somehow.
I know, but Mr. Graydon's testimony seemed to be as watertight as ever. They said the brickmaker was single but not childless. Yeah! And then his wife walked out on him. So that's making it really close, I think. Could be those two brothers. Sorry, just received the message. We need a link. Just check this. Oh my god! As soon as I looked at it, Mason Milverton, are you seeing this? It's literally his last name. Why didn't... Oh my god. Bro, I have no relation to the man. Fuck you, dude. We got you. I knew it! I knew it! Me and Peregrine, we called it at the same time, man. Holy shit! Oh my god! That felt so good.
Objection!
Mr. Ashley Milverton. Tell me, why did you try to hide your former name from the court? Because I haven't gone by that name for years. It means nothing to me. No, I don't think that's the real explanation at all. The truth is, you had a reason to hide that name.
Explain yourself, please, counsel.
I have here the notes from the omnibus case, my lord. And as we all know, the victim, the man who we now understand to have been negotiating with MacGilded.
Yes, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker.
And for some reason, we weren't given his last name on that case. How convenient. That's right. Only Mason wasn't his surname at all. It was his given name. His full name was Mason Milverton.
Milverton? Do you mean to say saints alive?
Mr. Ashley Milverton. Is it not the case that the brickmaker Mr. Mason Milverton was your father?
I don't.
As I believe I mentioned earlier, your family history will have been thoroughly checked when you joined the civil service. And it really would take no time at all for the court to subpoena those records. The truth is, you have been illegally acquiring highly confidential government information and selling it to MacGilded in collaboration with your father. The new facts and evidence unveiled by the cross-examination of this witness all come together to reveal the truth.
The truth, you say?
That you collaborated with your father, Mr. Mason Milverton, in illegal dealings with Magnus MacGilded.
By dint of this music box, you mean, counsel?
Yes, stealing information being sent in secret government communications and selling it on to MacGilded. Mr. Graydon concocted this elaborate scheme of using 2 music box discs to encode the information as, presumably, a safety measure against the information falling into the wrong hands.
And a very effective one. I shouldn't have given the scheme any credence whatsoever.
But the deal with MacGilded went sour, and the brickmaker met his end. Yes, but before he was arrested, MacGilded managed to temporarily dispose of the stolen disc at a pawnbroker. Then, having learned of the situation, you appeared at Windybanks 2 days ago in an attempt to recover the 2 articles MacGilded had placed in pawn there. But that attempt failed. One of the discs was seized by the police and the other you never found. So that same night, you enlisted the help of the Skoken brothers and broke into the pawnbrokery. This time, determined to recover the second disc.
Are you suggesting that the second disc was inside the music box?
My phone keeps vibrating. Alright. Hey!
We never knew nothing about that.
On the night that Mr. Windybank was killed. Bro, me and Van Zeeks are like tag team in Ashley right now. We're DPing this bitch. The intruder to the pawnbrokery touched one item, and one item alone. The music box.
As rather ingeniously demonstrated using the 2 prints from the security camera indeed.
So the question that naturally begs answering is this. Why was only that one article disturbed? The answer is obvious because it contained the second disc, which the intruder was desperate to retrieve. Since if it were to fall into the hands of the police, it would be proof of high treason. Well, Mr. Graydon, do you deny that all of this actually began on that fateful night 2 months ago?
I refuse to accept any of this nonsense.
Oh! Did you see that red mark on his arm? Sir, there appears to be blood seeping through the sleeve of your jacket.
What?
He opened his wound 2 nights ago. We know that 3 shots were fired at the scene of the crime in Windybank's pawnbrokery. One took the life of the pawnbroker himself. Windybank shot Graydon, but he missed. One struck the pouch around Mr. Sholmes' waist. And the final bullet struck the calendar on the wall of the shop, having first pierced the arm of one of the intruders. Mr. Graydon, that wound on your arm that you seem to be trying to hide, it's a bullet wound, isn't it?
He's got you now, me old China.
Time to call it quits and croak, I reckon.
Don't acknowledge my presence there under any circumstances whatsoever. Those were my terms, remember, and I paid you handsomely to comply. Clearly, I was a fool to think I could trust some common backslum thieves.
Huh? He admitted it.
Fine, I admit it. I was there in Windybanks that night. I paid this pair 10 guineas to accompany me, and as you've noticed, I sustained an injury in the course of my adventures. But that is all. I admit to nothing more. Stealing government secrets, negotiating with Mr. McGilded. As God is my witness, I'm sure I recall nothing of the sort.
He's not going down without a fight. Not until I can show hard evidence, I suppose. Nevertheless, the defense has now established a crucial fact. Which is... Come on, Van Zeeks, man, you're supposed to be on my side. Well, we know that one bullet was fired from each of the 2 firearms we have in evidence. Also, the fact that he's related to the Mason. The bullet from the Skokin brothers' gun hit the pouch around Mr. Sholmes' waist. And the bullet from Mr. Windybank's gun clearly must have been the one that caught Mr. Graydon on the arm.
Indeed it must. We can rule out the possibility that the man shot himself.
And that leads us to only one conclusion. Mr. Windybank was shot by a 3rd gun, which can only have been fired by the 3rd intruder.
Goodness!
That's right, Mr. Graydon. The only person who could possibly have shot Mr. Windybank that night is you!
Hold it!
You little upstart. You made a grave mistake when you summoned me here. What? What's that supposed to mean? Yes, as you rightly say, I was there at the pawnbrokers. I did my best to hide the fact, naturally. I had no intention of ruining the distinguished career I'd built for myself at the communications station. But did the thought never cross your mind? Did you never consider the possibility? What? What do you mean? What thought? What possibility? The possibility that if I was there at the scene, I may have witnessed the crucial moment. You see, this makes me a key witness in this case, and I have my hands firmly around the neck of your client. What?
Or are you suggesting?
I saw it all. I saw the very moment that pickpocket girl pointed a gun at that poor defenseless pawnbroker and shot him. You... What? Oh, come on.
Order! Order! Well, it would seem we are finally entering the last act of this theatrical trial.
Mr. Graydon. Yes. I trust you are fully aware of the implications here. If it is shown that your claim is false, you will have incriminated yourself as the killer. He's willing to risk it all, man. Oh, I understand fully.
Then I must ask you to give your formal testimony once more. You will explain to the court precisely what you saw at the moment the defendant allegedly shot the victim.
Nothing would give me greater pleasure. Bro, he's going all or nothing. If he loses this case, he's getting capital punishment, not only for murder, but also high treason, because he's selling government secrets. While these ruffians were jostling with the broker, I was still near the entrance to the shop. When Windybank threw Nash over the counter, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. Bullshit! No way! I know Windybank is an absolute unit, but no way he would have thrown Nash. I pursued the man, but he shot himself in the storeroom. I could see him through the peephole in the door, though. The accused, in a black coat, shot the man in the back as he was trying to flee to safety. It wasn't black, it was like brown. I saw the blood spatter all over that wretched girl. Then she tossed the gun out of the peephole. No. So I picked it up and made my escape. Bro, what? Did he just say she threw the gun out of the peephole? And then he picked it up? The peephole was locked, you dumbass. And also, we found her with a gun. There's no way she could have thrown it. Oh, dude. Even I could see that. Come on, man. You're not even trying anymore.
Good gracious! This is quite extraordinary testimony.
I and Solus had both the same reaction. Come on, dude. You didn't even try with that one. Look at him smirking as if like he's 500 IQ'd us. Was he have 5 lies in a row? This man didn't even try.
You claim, sir, under oath, to have clearly seen the defendant pulling the trigger.
She was found with a gun. Multiple witnesses, including the police, found her holding a gun.
Order!
It wasn't my intention. It wasn't my intention to testify in this way. But neither is it my intention to be found guilty of a murder I didn't commit. So you see, my hand has been forced. I tell the truth now as an act of self-preservation. Not a very good way. The truth. Until now, the prosecution was completely unaware of these details.
Yes, well, sorry about that.
Oh, Gregson. Having shot me in the arm, the pawnbroker was then shot in the back by the accused. And as I said, she was showered in his blood. She wasn't even covered in blood. You say the blood spattered over the accused's coat. Are you sure on that point? Oh yes, quite sure. All over the black overcoat that pickpocket girl was wearing at the time.
Really? If her coat could somehow be shown to harbor vestiges of blood, there would be conclusive evidence here.
Bro, you said like 5 lies at the same time. Such an investigation is entirely possible, my lord. What? Only very recently, a German scientist has developed a technique to identify human blood. Why didn't we do this shit earlier? That would have been useful the beginning of this case, so we could have identified what the blood was on the wall. What was the point of Iris doing her fucking color blood thing? Oh my god. Why didn't you do that earlier? We were running around circles like headless chicken. Oh, sorry, did I forget to mention that we could actually identify human blood now? Oh, that would have been useful. So here's the true science. Not some amateurish detective's dubious foray into the world of chemistry. What do you mean, amateurish? At least she presented her evidence in the beginning. You're presenting it at the end of the trial now.
There's nothing dubious about Early's work. His ideas are all sound.
Ideas are no use to us here. In science, as in law, theories must be proven before they stand. I'm going insane from this trial. I've never been this like, what? In an Ace Attorney case before. Holy shit. In Germany, the technique has already been employed in the courtroom as the basis of evidence. Scotland Yard has a small quantity of the chemical reagent used. With your lordship's permission. Real German science, not like that Nipponese conjuring nonsense. We could shatter all vestiges of doubt within minutes. Huh. Within minutes, you say? That would have been useful at the beginning, like the first 5 minutes of this trial.
This doesn't look good, Bruno.
Why not?
Well, we know, don't we, that there's blood all over the front of Jeannie's coat.
That blood was Mason's! From McGilded.
They test it with their chemicals.
Oh, help! You're right. I wasn't forgetting what happened yesterday.
Don't move, Jeannie. I'm going to shoot.
Ah! But that's not Mr. Windybank's blood. The stain is from 2 months ago. That's Mr. Mason's blood from he was stabbed by McGilded, who was wearing the coat at the time. Yeah, exactly. How does that prove Gina's the... I don't get it. Why are we objecting? How does that prove that, How does that prove that it's bad for Gina? My lord, the defense objects to the test proposed by the prosecution.
Overruled. Lord Van Zieks, make it so at once. With pleasure, my lord. And while we await the results, the defense may proceed with the cross-examination.
Once they find that blood on the overcoat, Gina will be...
Counsel!
Yes, my lord! Because then they can say she killed Windybank. How can they say she killed Windybank when the blood is the Masons? Oh, I mean, they're just gonna see the blood, they're not gonna see the color. No! Okay, now I get it. It identifies blood, but it doesn't identify whose blood. Oh, I get it now, sorry. That's why I was confused. I was like, why? We all know it's Masons. Anyway, I got it now, thank you.
Your cross-examination!
Of course, my lord. If this cross-examination doesn't go well, if I don't manage to uncover some decisive evidence or a really compelling clue now, I have a very bad feeling about the outcome of this trial. Are you gonna patch that up, dude? You're just gonna keep bleeding there, or? This is it, man. We're getting closer. They don't accept Holmes tech. Mr. Windybank emerged from the storeroom, I believe.
Ringo and Nash were scouring the counter when he suddenly appeared and flew at them. He already had the revolver in his hand. Fortunately, I wasn't too close.
I've never been so scared in all my life.
Yeah, we're just your regular mild-mannered burglars, that's all. We don't like the violence.
Says the pair who carry a gun. We have a blood detection reagent, but we don't have like a DNA identification reagent or method yet. What do you mean when you say you were near the entrance to the shop?
I was in the doorway running my eyes over the shelves of forfeited items.
Looking for the music box, of course.
The broker went for Nash in the first place. Then Ringo joined in, making it 2 against 1, so I assumed they can handle the situation. But I was wrong. I was trying to help me little bruv, but old geezer chucked me over the blooming counter.
Wait, was he actually telling the truth when he said that? Holy shit, Windybank is a unit, bro! He's an absolute unit! He was taking on Nash and Ringo at the same time, and he was flinging them over the counter? What the hell, dude? Yo, for those who don't know who Mr. Windybank is, let me show you what he looks like. Look at this fucking dude. This absolute unit was doing a 2v1 against them. What? He's 48. Windybank's built different. Hell yeah, man. Whoa. Oh, I have so much respect for this guy now. They introduced Windybank as like, oh yeah, he's just, you know, some old bloke or whatever. But he's proven himself to be a Giga Chad until he died. Because he protected Gina, and he's 2v1ing these two dudes over there.
So I pulled my gun on the old fella, and I soon made him scalper.
A pair of you setting him on the poor defenseless pawnbroker together. Shame on you!
Sorry, Gov.
When we pressed that one statement, that just proved that Windybank was a Giga Chad, and he could hold his own. Dude, this is the guy who's like prepared to shoot himself. He's a Crimean War veteran as well. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
Hold it!
You mean that's the moment you were shot?
Yes, though I didn't immediately realize what had happened, of course. Things crashed to the floor from the counter as the 3 men were brawling. It was at exactly that moment that it happened, so I didn't hear the gunshot.
And the bullet went on to strike the calendar in the wall behind you.
So it would appear. When I looked at my arm, I saw it was bleeding badly, so I wrapped my handkerchief around it. Seeing as I couldn't explain what had happened to a doctor, I had no choice but to wait for it to heal.
Wait, what? Why wouldn't you want to explain it to a doctor? Oh yeah, cause he tried to rob a fucking pawnbrokery. I didn't imagine it would still be bleeding 2 days later. Did Mr. Windyback intend to shoot you, do you think? Well now, I don't imagine he even noticed I was there, to be honest. Perhaps the gun went off accidentally. Anyway, it didn't quite strike home. He served in the Gardev regiment. Hell yeah, man. Fucking Gardev and Mr. Windybank. 2 veteran boys. I bet, you know, they would reminisce about the good old days. Their glory days.
When I pulled my gun on him, he tried to shove me out the way.
And then he scuppered through the door out back. At which point, what did you do?
Right. The peephole in the door. You mean you chased after him? I don't recall the reason why, but I ran after him to the back of the shop. Isn't that convenient? And what about this peephole in the door you mentioned? Yeah.
Well, unsurprisingly, the storeroom door is a solid job, made of stout wood.
But there's...
But there's a small opening in it, about head height, unless you see what's what in there from the outside.
Actually, I should know that, shouldn't I? I looked through it myself that night. Bro! The evidence is right there! She was holding a gun! Oh my god. How could she throw it out from the peephole if... And what about you burgling brothers? Did you see what went on through this peephole as well?
Not likely, Gov. Didn't see nothing of the sort, Gov.
I doubt these 2 buffoons were even aware of the peephole's existence. So the Skoken brothers were there, but they didn't see the killing of Mr. Windybank take place. Inside the courtroom, I could see the broker and that young girl standing there.
The defendant?
Yes, though neither of them noticed that I was looking. The girl raised her gun and pointed it straight at the man.
And then, what did you see next?
You know, we're just gonna ignore that he's broke into a pawnbrokery and is selling government secrets. Let's trust this man's validity on his witness statement that Gina shot Windyback. Why not? he's trustworthy.
Hold it!
Yes. When the crime was discovered, the defendant was found with a gun in her hand. But that was Mr. Windybank's gun, from which only a single bullet had been fired. And as we've already established, Mr. Graydon, that bullet was fired at you! Ah, but no. It wasn't the broker's gun that the pickpocket girl had when I saw her. Yes, the bullet from Windybank's gun grazed my arm. And yes, the Skoken's gun grounded the detective. And this was another gun entirely. A third gun. Fuck off. The broker's gun was not the murder weapon, so clearly there had to be a third firearm involved. In other words, the accused must have had her own gun with her at the time. What? Van Zeeks, whose side are you on?
Objection!
Why would she have a gun? How could she have a gun? But no other gun was found at the scene. Calm yourself, counsel. Sorry? You must consider the events in order. What? At first I saw the broker and the girl glaring at each other, but then, all of a sudden, the broker turned to run. And it was at that moment that the little gutter rat shot him in the back.
A chilling image, I must say.
Graydon admits to tampering with the crime scene by checking the gun. For real. Now we're gonna accuse him of perjury. Or is that what you call it? Perjury if you tamper with the crime scene? Oh my god. What is this man doing? Why would she throw the gun away? What would she achieve by throwing the gun through the peephole? That's stupid.
Hold it!
Why are we even considering this testimony? All over her? Yes, through the peephole. I saw it clearly. Of course, the stains are invisible now, what with the coat being of such a dark color. But I assure you, that garment is sullied with the victim's blood. Purges where you lie in testimony. Oh, okay. Well, it is sullied with blood, that's for sure.
Boy, it's not Mr. Windybank's blood, is it?
No, that's right. It's Mr. Mason Milverton's blood from when McGilded stabbed him 2 months ago.
It's so annoying. If only they'd accept Hurley's chemical analysis, we could prove that.
But they won't, so unfortunately we can't use it as evidence to support our case.
Bother.
Alright, here we go. The main thing that made me slap myself.
Hold it!
Did I hear you correctly? She threw the gun out of the room.
That's right. After the pawnbroker fell to the floor, she started walking over. Over where exactly?
In the direction of the storeroom door to where I was watching. Of course, I quickly retreated, and then the girl dropped the gun through the peephole onto the floor on my side of the door. Why would she do that? What murderer would shoot someone, throw the evidence at a witness? What? No murderer would do that. He was like, yeah, I shot the dude. Hey, here's the gun. Here's evidence. Give it to the police, will ya? Alright, I'm gonna sleep in this room now.
But why on earth would she do such a thing?
I couldn't tell you. Perhaps she was hoping to distance herself from the murder weapon. Without thinking, I went and picked it up. I suppose I was worried about just leaving it there in case any more tragedies took place. Van Zieks, help me out, man. Please, I can't take this anymore. So it was you, in fact, who took the third gun from the scene of the crime.
Yes, it was yours truly.
Huh. I left the clear up to my lackeys and left. Clear up?
We've made a bit of a mess around the counter, so Mr. Whistle and Fruity told us to tidy it up.
He thinks he's our bloomin' mum sometimes.
Well, I was paying you enough, by God. Ugh. 1 second. Oh, it's too much. Tell me, Mr. Graydon, when you left the pawnbrokery that night, was it by any chance with the second disc in your jacket pocket?
You're like a bull at a gate.
Whoa. Whoa, what's happening there? Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Gentlemen.
Something wrong, sunshine.
Yeah, you attempted to assault this man in the middle of a courtroom, Inspector. Need I remind you, you're the Inspector of Scotland Yard, assaulting a witness in the middle of a courtroom. What is happening to this case? The fucking circus. That should be my line. You do realize you were just violently shaking Mr. Skokin.
Blimey, this dude's a bit of a hooligan, ain't he?
What was going on just now? And why was I the only one that saw that?
You saw him? He grabbed me whistle. What the blazes, he said. Didn't you mention the third gun when we got you down the station?
And why didn't you?
'Cause I didn't know nothing about it. All that flaming people in the door.
Sorry about that. I can be prone to losing my rag sometimes. Alright, are you?
Oh, blimey. See the way he's looking at me? I tell ya, this thing give me the willies.
That was strange. The inspector doesn't normally get quite as worked up as that. He wouldn't normally grab someone.
No, that wasn't like Grigsy at all.
He's normally all sweetness and light, no matter what I say to him.
Yes, well, I think you might be a special case, Iris.
Well, anyway, that was definitely out of character.
We're just gonna ignore that. My lord!
Requesting your lordship's permission to interrupt the cross-examination. Explain yourself, officer. I have the results of the test that was ordered earlier, my lord.
Ah, the blood. I love the blood. On the accused's overcoat. Why does blood make me salivate?
Thank you, officer. Very well. The cross-examination is hereby temporarily suspended.
Fuck.
I presume you have no objection, counsel?
No, my lord.
Well, there you have it.
The report, please, Inspector.
Yes, sir. Traces of human blood were found on the overcoat of the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade. From the extent of the stains, it would appear they were the result of spattering following a gunshot wound. End of report. Goodness me!
No! Oh, you Jojo posing motherfucker.
See? What did I tell you?
Objection!
No! The blood on the coat is not Mr. Windybanks.
What on earth makes you say that, counsel?
The coat originally belonged to Magnus MacGilded. Just before his coat was deposited at Windybanks, MacGilded had fatally stabbed Mr. Mason Milverton. So the blood on that overcoat is the blood of the brickmaker from the omnibus case.
Objection!
Well, the dead cannot speak. Isn't that right, my Nipponese friend? Sorry? 2 months ago in this very courtroom, did you not argue fervently for MacGilded's innocence? And yet now, that man is dead. You brand him as a murderer. Your conduct shatters any shred of respect you may have earned for yourself in this country. But that was...
I call it a bully disgrace. Treachery, that's what it is.
Oh, how to determine whether the blood on that coat is 2 months old or not? Even a stereoscope could help the answer to that problem pop out. It can't be done.
But... We use Mr. Sholmes' specially formulated chemical...
Mr. Sholmes is a detective, not a chemist.
Would you put such faith in a chemical formula devised by me, for example, when I'm a communications officer?
I held out Piroshki to starving boy, and he ran away crying.
Her luck... Oh... Her luck, Sholmes, is barely more than a figment of the public's imagination. His name carries no weight in this courtroom. No weight at all. How could you say that?
Victory is sweet indeed. This proves that my testimony is the whole truth from start to finish. How do you arrive at such conclusions, sir?
As the witness said, the accused's coat was spattered with the blood of the victim. The only way Mr. Graydon could possibly have known that fact is if he saw it happen. In other words, his testimony is solid, and the conclusion is singular. Thank you, Blaster. It was the accused who shot the victim in this case. That is the whole truth. Ugh. Oh man, the JoJo folks.
My lord, be a long barrel this one, but this old warhorse has something to say now, if you please. Mr. Foreman? As of this moment, sir, the squadron has reached its final decision. Ready, men? All for one now.
Sir!
Guilty.
No.
Guilty.
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 Well, it would appear the ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached a unanimous verdict.
Do we have to do this shit again? The defense has consistently failed to unpick this witness's testimony. Here's to any attempt you may make at unpicking the jury's decisions being equally successful.
Ah! I don't believe it. After I've come so far, how is it all unraveling on me so fast? Man, the closer we get, man. That's annoying. Is this Kazuma? I'm calling it now. This is gonna be Kazuma.
How very distressing to be held in such low esteem.
Come to me, Kazuma. Wait, what? What? Is that Kazuma?
Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruto? Officer? You've delivered the report now. That will be all, thank you.
What? No. No way. No way. Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
It occurs to me with some regularity, Mr. Naruto, that scientific truths are determined not by science,
It's her luck. It's her luck.
but by none other than the human mind.
I don't know who it is, man. I'm so... I know that voice. Am I going mad? Ah! It's her luck. It's your boy. Mr. Sholmes. Oh, Mr. Sholmes.
What is the meaning of this?
Order! What business do you have here, detective? The last I heard, you were recuperating in hospital.
What is happening? The circus of a case, man.
As well I should be, had I not been set upon an errand. What errand?
Hurley, it's really you. You're awake at last.
Yes, good day, Iris. It would appear to be rather late to rise. My apologies. Now, my lord, if you will humor me.
In what manner, sir?
I have something of great importance I wish to give to the young lawyer over there. I need no more than 5 minutes. Would you be so kind as to spare us the time?
What say you to this, Lord Van Zeeks?
Yeah, what say you?
This trial has taken many hours of the court's time. Oh, believe you me. Having spent so long already.
Exactly! Having spent so long already, we don't want to go in it wasting any more precious time.
As I was saying, having spent so long already, it would seem churlish to deny the defense a mere 5 minutes.
Very well then, counsel. You have 5 minutes.
Shrooms, what are you doing, my man?
My dear fellow, I apologize for my tardy arrival.
Mr. Sholmes, are you alright now?
I'm immortal. I cannot die. I am a god. Alright, I'm all wrong.
Sorry?
I've only just managed to summon the strength to stand, man. As the judge for 5 minutes, I literally have 5 minutes to die. From blood loss. But I fear even that may prove too much for me. Pray forgive me should I pass out.
Let's make this discussion as short as possible.
Early, this place is full of idiots.
Thank you, Iris. Thank you. I feel like us two are the only sane ones in this fucking case. Even Van Zeeks is siding with Graydon. Like, he knows it's bullshit, man. Come on.
None of them can see how wonderful your chemical blood analysis is.
Ah, well, that concoction of mine was really just a bit of sport to assist in my investigations. I never took the trouble to refine it for appraisal by the scientific community. An oversight on my part.
Right. Modesty? Surely not.
But enough of that. I'm here to give you this, my dear fellow.
What's that? A lavender furoshiki wrapping. It's from... I actually forgot her name. Susato! Yes!
A leaving present from Miss Susato. Your GF from
Miss Susato.
If possible, matters were to be settled without me giving you this. Those were her instructions when she asked me to do her this favor.
I don't understand.
Miss Susato foresaw today's events, I believe. She knew that the culprit would attempt to escape justice by means both devious and underhand.
Yeah, it's just my lunch. I wonder what's in it. Oh, it's just bento. Okay, thanks, Susato. Nah, it has to be useful. It would be funny, though, if it was just food.
And not you, Mr. Naruhodo. Fighting fairly as you are wont to do, would find yourself in considerable peril. At the very moment of crisis, you were to be given this small parcel. Those were the dear lady's instructions.
A leaving present from Susato-san. Whatever could it be? Oh. What is this?
Oh! It's the machine I made!
Ah. Oh, it's to make the cat holes machine.
Meow. Meow. Look, I use this. It's my latest invention. What is that? I call it the cat flapper, man. I can make a cat flap for a little furry friend like Waggy in seconds. What's Susie up to?
Miss Susato muttered the following words before she left.
I'm a failure. I don't deserve to be a judicial assistant. What? Didn't she say something like that? Oh my god, it's just flashback episode now. You really are the best judicial assistant in the world.
Well, that's extremely flattering.
But I'm sorry to say
that I've been a complete failure.
Whatever did she mean by that, Mr. Sholmes?
That night, when you left Windy Banks in pursuit of the thieves, Miss Susato made use of this contraption for a certain purpose. That is your answer, dear fellow.
Not at all cryptic then. Susato-san used this cat flapper mat that night. But why? Why didn't Susato just tell us? Why did she have to give such a cryptic message?
Your 5 minutes is over. Huh? We're out of time already?
Just make just make a cat flap and grate its stomach.
I'm grateful to you for affording us that brief recess, Mr. Reaper. I'm gonna faint now from blood loss. I need no thanks, detective. After all, the die is cast. Is it really?
Oh man, the two Sigmas are making contact with each other now.
The jurors are unanimous in their leanings. No doubt my learned friend will consider a summation examination. But any attempt to alter the verdict now would be utterly futile. I wonder... Mr. Naruhodo!
Yes?
The rest is down to you, dear fellow. What is your plan?
The rest is down to me. I need to be careful here. If I make a wrong move, the trial will end badly. My lord, the defense requests. Oh shit. Time to think. Let's examine the cat of Flappo Mouty thing before we make anything. I don't know what to do with it though. Oh wait. Cat Flappoman, a compact machine for the rapid creation of small flaps and larger doors, like the peeping hole from the door they were talking about earlier, to allow cats to come in freely and go freely. Cross-examination was suspended. How does this actually... Oh my god, so it's just all blades. It just cuts through and makes a hole. Whoa. Phew! Those vicious teeth look like they could rip through almost anything.
They're good, aren't they? They're made of a special alloy I developed just for this job. The cutter rotates 10 times per second so it can get through any kind of door in no time at all.
And what are the two parts at the top there?
Ah, those are for attaching hinges to the section of the door that gets cut up.
Right, of course.
Nothing can match this machine for power. It can make mincemeat of even the toughest of doors.
It sounds so charming and friendly when you say what it is for, but... feels like the reality of the cat Flappoman is that it's a grim weapon of door destruction.
What guy so adorable? There's nothing I wouldn't do for him. Even developing deadly weapons.
Alright, that's not what I wanted to know. I was hoping for something more useful. Didn't really tell us anything useful. We don't need a summation examination. I think we need a further cross-examination. I don't know what the time to think option's gonna do. Should I try it out time to think just to see what it does? I'm really curious what it does. Personally, I think we should go with cross-examination, but let's try time to think, just to see what it does. It's no good. I need time to think.
What do you think you're doing, Mr. Naruhodo?
Sorry?
What of Mrs. Ato's gracious gesture? Would you let this final piece of evidence she left you go to waste?
I know the piece of evidence is useful, but I can't think what to do with it. Final piece of...
This is not a time for inaction. This is a time to hear from a witness.
But it's not possible for me to bring a new witness to the stand at this point.
I don't think that's what Hurley means, Runo. Have you forgotten where we are in the trial?
Aha!
If the defense has nothing more to add, I think we should proceed to the adjudication.
Wait, I know now! Wait, my lord. The defense requests further cross-examine. Why? What was the point, man? I thought it would give me something new. That's why I was curious. I was like, oh, maybe it'll give me like something cool or whatever. But nah, they were just like, no, yo. Solus was just like, no, you fucking idiot. Cross-examine the man.
Objection!
The jurors have spoken. Protocol dictates that you may not cross-examine a new witness now.
The defense is not asking for the cross-examination of a new witness, rather to continue with one of an existing witness.
What?
I love illusion of choice. It would appear that a rather important detail, has escaped your attention, Mr. Reaper. Oh?
My lord, requesting your lordship's permission to interrupt the cross-examination.
Thank you, officer. Very well. The cross-examination is hereby temporarily suspended. Oh, I presume you have no objection, counsel?
No, my lord. Temporarily suspended.
So nobody can say anything then? If Bruno has to resume his cross-examination, Mr. Graydon...
The court is obliged to allow it. This is absurd!
Oh my god.
I would remind those present that this is my courtroom. I concur that the defense is entirely within its rights to request the continuation of the cross-examination. However, I will not permit an unremitting protraction of these proceedings. Therefore, I have decided to afford the defense one final opportunity in concluding the cross-examination. Counsel, you must choose one statement from the witness's testimony, the peeping hole, and but one piece of evidence to present in support of your argument against it.
A single chance to present evidence. Alright, let's just save it here just in case. But I already know what I'm going for. The peeping hole and then the cat flapomat.
If following that the situation remains unchanged, I shall move to adjudication. Is that clear, counsels? You will not press the witness any further. My lord.
Yes, my lord.
A single statement and a single piece of evidence. Most generous. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, it's high time I fell in a dead faint. See ya! I leave this in your capable hands.
Miss! Mr. Shams! Meanwhile, Gregson and Van Zeeks are like, well, finally.
Who stands so insouciantly before the court in a state of such high fever? Either the man has extraordinary strength of mind, or an extraordinary lack of feeling.
I imagine he's feeling very little now. The detective is sleeping soundly in one of the antechambers.
Strike a man when he's down, why don't you?
Well then, counsel, are you fully prepared?
Yes. One statement, one piece of evidence. I won't let Mr. Shams down. Or Iris. Or Susato. Or Kazuva. I won't waste this final chance that Susato-san has given me. This is going to decide the entire outcome of the trial. Okay. Here we go.
Very well then. Under the terms I've outlined, you may resume the cross-examination.
And Gina. And Windy Bank. The music's different now. Alright, I'm just saving so I don't have to go through the dialogue I already know. Because it doesn't let me skip the dialogue. Because I haven't seen it yet in that save. That's why I save frequently. So I don't waste people's time as well. She tossed the gun out of the peephole. So I picked it up and made my escape. Ah. I can't see a peephole there though. Wait. Oh! Wait a minute. 1 a.m. Boom. 1:30 a.m. There's a peeping hole now. Wait a minute. I'm still gonna present the gun, obviously, because, I mean, they gave us that evidence.
Objection.
What on earth is that eccentric contraption, Council?
But it's good that I saw that, though, because that's gonna help us a lot. No.
Oh, it's my cat Flappermat, my lord. It makes a way for cats to get in and out of a room. It can cut through any door you can think of and make a new little door in the middle of it.
That's right, my lord. It's a device for creating so-called cat flaps. Small doors for cats to come and go as they please, without their owner.
I'm sure we can all work that out for ourselves. But that cat lover's contrivance has no possible relevance to this case.
Oh, really?
Of course it doesn't. To start with, there was no cat flap in the pawnbroker's door. Not being a keeper of cats myself, I'm afraid I fail to see what this has to do with the matter at hand.
Here we go. Perhaps it would help if I described its function another way then. This contraption is able to create a peephole in any door you can imagine in practically no time at all.
I beg your pardon? A peephole, you say?
2 nights ago, we arrived at the scene, only minutes after the murder of Mr. Windybank had taken place.
That's right. According to the paperwork at the yard, it was you, your Japanese assistant, and Sholmes.
Bro, that's why it all makes sense now. I was wondering why, because like, when they first mentioned the peephole in this case, I was like, I don't remember there being a peephole. And then there was a peephole, and then, whatever, let's go. Yes, the three of us were together, and it's recently come to my attention that my assistant made use of this device at the time.
Your assistant did what?
There was a peephole in the storeroom door. I can attest to that. Because I looked through the peephole myself in order to see inside the locked storeroom.
This is ludicrous. What are you trying to say? Of course there was a peephole in the door. I said as much in my testimony. How else could I have witnessed the crime, for pity's sake?
Yes. How could you?
What?
Council, kindly say what you mean.
Alright, it's time. Time to strike the final blow. What I mean is this, my lord. My assistant made the people in the storeroom, and until such time as she did, the door had no hole in it to look through! Let's go, turn up the music.
What? No!
Objection!
This is a farce! Are you really suggesting that the peephole in the door was? Yes, it was created only after the incident had taken place by my judicial assistant using this device.
Your assistant tampered with the crime scene whilst being fully aware of the gravity of her actions? This is a most serious act of vandalism.
Yeah, but you can't court her because she's in Japan right now, bitch. What are you gonna do? Bring her back here? For which I humbly apologize, my lord. I was in the few minutes that I left the scene in order to pursue the Skoken brothers and alert the police. Nevertheless, in the light of this new information, it became apparent that Mr. Graydon's testimony is riddled with holes, much like the music discs.
Riddled with? Explain yourself, Counsel.
The majority of Mr. Graydon's testimony that appears to incriminate the defendant is based upon what he witnessed through the peephole in the storeroom door.
Yes, that filthy girl shooting the man in the back.
However, if at the time of the incident, that peephole did not yet exist in the door, there's no possible way that you could have seen what you claim to have seen. In short, your entire testimony is a pack of lies!
Order! Is there any evidence in this revelation?
Objection!
None whatsoever, as my learned friend must surely realize.
Exactly. This is just some cheap trick designed to discredit me.
I'm afraid not, sir.
Of course it is. Do you seriously expect people to believe that plaything can cut through a solid wooden door? Oh yes, I designed it to be very powerful. It can cut through even the toughest of doors. That's absurd. I don't believe it for a second. I can try it on that door behind you right now. I had a feeling you'd say that, you prick. What? Waggy, Kui, time for dinner.
She already did it. She did it without permission.
Meow. Well? Young lady, this is the Old Bailey. One does not make cat flaps in the oak paneling at the Old Bailey.
My god.
I'm not done yet. Don't worry. This doesn't mean that peephole in the storeroom door at Windybags was made by your machine. And there's no way you can prove that it was. No? But it's easy. What? The cat flaps my cat flapomat creates are all of a fixed size, and the dimensions of the peephole and Windybags are an exact match. Oh. Hee. Old Silky's lost for words.
Excellent work, Iris. Thank you. And now it's my learned friend student's turn to be lost for words, I feel. Huh? I believe your judicial assistant has already left the country for your Eastern Island home. Well, yes, that's true. Then you may have some difficulty in establishing all of the facts. For the sake of argument, let us assume the peephole has dimensions that are a perfect fit for this contraption. In that case, when was the peephole cut? The prosecution demands proof of your answer. Bro, we have the proof! We have the proof! We checked the picture! Yes! Come on, boys!
What is the purpose of your line of inquiry, Lord Van Zieks?
It's very simple, my lord. The defense argues that the peephole was created after the incident using this device. But now that the perpetrator has returned to her native land, she cannot testify to the fact there is no proof. And for as long as the defense remains unable to prove when the peephole was made, my learned friend's claim amounts to nothing more than a baseless accusation.
What? Let's go. I'm ready, dude. I'm on the ball right now. I'm so excited.
Indeed, that is so, Lord Van Zieks. Well, Council?
Don't give up now, Runo. This is the time to create your own opening and force your way through.
I don't know if I can do this, but I do know one thing. Cisaru-san is the greatest judicial assistant in the world. Let's go.
Very well, the Council for the Defense will present evidence to support the claim made.
Dude, I got this. The peephole in the door of Windybank's storm was created after the event. Wait. Let me... This is the part we have to read the question properly. I don't want to go through the entire thing all over again. The peephole in the door of Windybank's storeroom was created after the event and not before. Here it is. I got this.
Take that!
The defense believe this is all the proof the court should need.
Objection!
Then the defense is extremely... Fuck. I didn't read it properly. That's embarrassing. Everyone was already saying first photo when I presented it.
Take that!
What are you? A print from that detective's infernal cameras again?
My judicial assistant, Mrs. Sara Mikotaba, is an extremely intelligent and capable woman. What the fuck does that have to do with... Which is why I never had any case to doubt that she would have considered this scenario and made sure I had the necessary proof.
And the necessary proof is this photographic print, Council?
The print shows a scene in the shop moments after the defendant entered the premises.
Agreed. And it also shows the accused mercilessly wielded a gun in the direction of the defenseless broker.
But more to the point, it pictures the storeroom door in the background.
Let me see that print again. I don't believe it. It really is quite remarkable. The door to the storeroom is completely devoid of a peephole of any description.
Mr. Graydon, you couldn't possibly have witnessed the crime as you claim to have done. Because at the time it happened, there was no peephole in the door. In other words, your testimony is a catalog of lies!
Order! I am satisfied that the defense has substantiated its claim beyond all reasonable doubt.
He's dead.
The witness is dead. The witness's testimony was entirely fallacious.
That's not the only thing we now know beyond all reasonable doubt. My learned friend's assistant guilt can no longer be denied. The woman tampered with a crime scene. But more importantly...
Good lord! There's more, Lord Van Zieks?
The defense may have established a reprehensible instance of perjury. But that is no proof that this man is the victim's killer.
Yes, that's right.
What?
I was there at the scene, it's true. And I was shot in the arm, it's true. But that's all. Yes, in fact, if you look at the circumstances, I am the victim here!
Oh, please. No! What are you talking about? I don't believe this. But they're right, as it stands now. I don't have any definitive proof that he is the culprit.
Still, he can't worm his way out of it now.
Iris?
You know what they say. There's no point locking the cat's door after the cat has bolted. Isn't that right, Runo? As Hurley always says, one lie begets another. No, wait. That might have been a line I wrote for him in one of my stories.
Well, no matter who said it first, you're right. Mr. Graydon, not only did you give false testimony to the court, but the lies you told make no sense.
Make no sense.
What do you mean by such a remark? What you said in your testimony reveals that you know something you shouldn't have known. In other words, there's a fundamental inconsistency in your statements.
What?
Objection!
This is provocative talk, counsel. Won't you enlighten the court? Explain this alleged inconsistency.
Iris was right. One lie begets another. The inconsistency is revealed by the lies in the witnesses' statements. They showed that Mr. Graydon had knowledge of something he shouldn't have known, namely, the third gun. Exactly, dude. The third gun.
Objection!
Do you have any idea what you're saying, my Nipponese friend?
Absolutely. I've been studying English hard since I was a child.
You failed to catch my meaning.
Wait, what? Ah, for fuck's sake. Are you telling me I did it wrong?
The witness has admitted to removing the gun in question from the scene himself.
But how? How? Wait, I'm confused. How? Oh no, wait, I'm getting the story confused now. Fuck. His lies is confusing me. Oh.
Could have known of the third gun.
Bro, his dumbass stories, he's... Exactly. He always had the third gun. I was right. His fucking stories are confusing me, man. The blood stains on the coat. How he would have known? Because he couldn't have shot. He wouldn't have seen the person get shot. Since there was no peephole. Exactly. That's what I thought now. That's what I'm thinking now. I mean, not thought. I'm not gonna lie, because I thought wrong. But now I know. The blood stains that were present on Miss Lestrade's coat.
That's right. The victim's blood spattered all over her when she shot him.
But how could you possibly have known that?
Obviously because I saw her do it through the people in... the...
Yup, we caught him red-handed now. The point is not that you lied in your testimony, Mr. Graydon. It's the nature of the lie you concocted that is so revealing.
You're not making any sense.
Then let me ask you a simple question. How is it, Mr. Graydon, that you knew of the existence of the peephole in the storeroom door?
What? Well, obviously Has the cat got your tongue, witness? Got him.
The peephole in the door was made after the incident occurred. And once I returned to the shop having failed to catch the 2 burglars, Scotland Yard's investigators arrived immediately. Since that time, the police have been at Windybanks constantly carrying out the investigation. Isn't that right, Inspector Gregson?
Well, yes, of course. The place is chock full of pawned articles, and my lads have to thoroughly examine them all. So I gave the order to the office to have officers working around the clock and shift so we get through it all.
And consequently, there's no way that you, Mr. Graydon, could have gained access to the shop. Therefore, you should have known nothing about the peephole in the storeroom door. So the fact that its existence forms the basis of your testimony is completely inexplicable.
Objection!
And yet, the fact remains that Mr. Graydon did maintain that he witnessed the crime take place through the peephole in the door.
How on earth is that possible? Could I have a word, please, Lord Van Zieks?
Speak, Inspector.
It's just that I really ought to be getting back to the station now to put in my report. There's really nothing more I can add to this testimony, so if it's all the same to you...
Permission denied. Ha! Giga Chad.
Oh.
It's not all the same to me, Inspector. Not at all. You will remain exactly where you are until this trial concludes.
Of course, sir.
Mr. Graydon. You shouldn't have known about the existence of that peephole. Which can only mean that you must have been informed about it by somebody else. Gregson, you son of a bitch!
Objection!
Stop there, my learned friend. You realize, I trust, that the words you just uttered have extremely serious implications. Yes. But the defense believes that the details about the case that Mr. Graydon claims to have seen must have been revealed to him by a certain person before his testimony. And in fact, considering a particular clue we have, there's really only one person that could be.
Who is this person in question, counsel? Who gave this witness details of the crime scene to facilitate his false testimony?
I'm sorry, Gregson.
Take that!
We were brothers in arms, but now... The truth is, it can only have been you, Inspector Gregson.
Eh? Me?
Objection!
You had better have some proofs to substantiate such a rash claim, my learned friend. Consider the fact that we have only been aware of Mr. Ashley Graydon's identity for the last few hours. We learned of it only during the course of the trial today.
Indeed. Preparations for his testimony were made with great urgency during our hour-long recess.
Oh my god. Epiphany time. I just had like an epiphany. So, the reason why Scotland Yard is not doing their job right this entire time is because they're doing it on purpose. It all makes sense now. That's why it looks like we've been missing a lot of shit that should have been obvious from the start. But they're actually doing it on purpose. I hope that's the reason. But I think that's why. It's because they're working together with Ashley Graydon. I mean, with Ashley Milverton.
While the police executed the subpoena and brought the man here from the communication station.
And until that time, Mr. Graydon could have no idea. No inkling that he would suddenly be required to appear in court.
Are you suggesting that until such time as he was summoned?
Or it could just be Ace Attorney. Yes, my lord. Until then, it's reasonable to assume he knew nothing of the peephole. It was only once Mr. Graydon was in the stand that he realized his position. That he would have to defend himself against the accusation that he was the third intruder. You're suggesting to the court that it was while this trial was in progress that he received the information. I wonder when? Probably when they were whispering to each other. So that he could commit perjury in order to save his skin. Exactly. And the only person with knowledge of the investigation that he had any contact with is you, Inspector Gregson.
This is a blooming outrage. Why would I be giving away details of our investigation to this fella, eh? I was summoned to his lordship's chambers during the recess in any case. Had you forgotten that? Quite true. I had a number of questions regarding the events that transpired at the pawnbrokery.
Which means... the first time these two laid eyes on one another was after proceedings resumed following the recess. Since then, they've been in full view in the stand, where such illicit discussions couldn't possibly have occurred.
Oh, I just remembered something, Runo.
What is it, Iris?
There was one time before, wasn't there? I think it was when Jeannie was testifying.
Oh yes, now you mention it. When Billy was dispatched to retrieve MacGilded's music box from the scene of the crime. That's it! It was during that testimony. I remember finding it strange at the time. Mr. Graydon and the inspector seemed to be having some kind of secret discussion. It would seem it would have been possible for you to give Mr. Graydon the information he needed then.
You little toe rag, you're making all this up. I'm a respectable Scotland Yard inspector, for crying out loud. Why would I do something like that? Why would I be giving away confidential details to the likes of this bloke?
Admittedly, you wouldn't have any reason to do something like that for no gain, but perhaps it was part of a deal of some kind. Then it starts to make sense.
What deal, Counsel?
I wonder if perhaps in exchange for details about the people at the crime scene, Mr. Graydon agreed to give a certain something to the inspector. Sorry, give me a second. Give me a minute. I need a quick break. Oh, Oh, dude. I'm sorry, I tried so hard. Like, I thought this would end soon at some point, but it's been nothing but like very intense voice acting for like 2.5 hours straight. And I haven't taken a break. I was I was getting a bit short of breath. All right. I was feeling a little dizzy because I was just I've been like shouting for like the past 2.5 hours. Oh, he's shouting, man. Because I'm trying to give the scene like emotion, man. You know, it's an intense case, and I'm loving it. You know, I'm not like, I'm not trying to like force myself, but like, you know, I gotta give the scene the delivery and emotion it deserves. Let me just check if Fiverr. Raise the mic sensitivity then, I guess. Nope, that's actually false. Raising the mic sensitivity, yeah, it does make your voice louder. I mean, not mic sensitivity, but mic gain. It does make it louder, but you're just talking normally, but it sounds louder, and the emotion isn't there, and you're not shouting, and it doesn't sound intense. Alright, I'm ready. I don't want to stall for too much.
I'm sure I need to remind the inspector, if found to be true, striking a deal of any kind with a witness would be considered a gross case of malfeasance. Well,
Objection!
Maybe Scotland Yard told him to, or maybe the government.
It's becoming clear that jumping in with accusations is this Nipponese student's speciality.
I don't do that.
But with the stakes so high, the prosecution is not prepared to listen to baseless charges. It is incumbent on the defense now to present evidence in support of this diabolical claim.
Evidence?
So what are you proposing that the inspector demanded of the witness in return? The court must see proof of this alleged deal.
The music box disc. Because it's McGilded, right? If Inspector Gregson really did strike a deal with Mr. Graydon, then logically, there's only one thing he could have had asked for. That must be it. Because Scotland Yard is getting every single piece of evidence related to McGilded.
Bruno, do you think it could be?
Yes. It's the missing link that would join all the dots together in this puzzle.
I must press you for an answer now, counsel. What evidence explains the nature of the alleged deal that Inspector Gregson made with a witness?
I mean, yeah, I guess second disc as well. Oops, let's save just in case. Sekiro, how close are we to the end? just out of curiosity. Or any of those people who are familiar with the game. Just so I can have some sort of a deadline. Not deadline, but like, you know. What's the phrase? I can't think of the phrase right now.
Take that!
Inspector Gregson. 20 minutes? Besides this murder, is it not true that you've been working on another very important case?
What? What are you getting at now, sunshine?
Is it possible that this other top secret case is what's alluded to in this newspaper article here? The classified secrets being leaked overseas from the Ministry of Justice.
Oh, the bleeding Nora, could you?
We discovered during the course of this trial the music box deposited at Windybanks by Magnus McGilded. A special music box designed to play 2 discs at once. It would seem very likely now that encoded on the pair of discs that were in McGilded's possession are the leaked classified secrets. So I put it to you, Inspector, that in order to recover the second of the discs containing those secrets, you covertly made a deal with Mr. Graydon in which you exchanged the disc for details of the case. Here we go, music.
You little... Oh!
Oh, I love this music, man. This is how you know you've got the case now.
Order!
On the day of the incident, when we met you at Windybanks, you said this.
I'll be taking whatever it is of McGilded's down to the yard, thank you very much. So hand it over.
No, don't give it to him. It's mine, that is mine.
I'm sorry, miss. But anything belonging to McGilded has to be taken in as evidence now.
Scotland Yard already knew at that time, isn't that right? That Magnus McGilded was involved in the stealing of government secrets.
My orders were recover the medium used to convey the secrets leaked from the ministry and do it on the QT. Strictly hush hush.
And that explains why, when I presented this disc as evidence to the court, you objected so heavily, I presume. Because you knew that it contained highly confidential information. And after it...
Blimey, not likely. I mean, I wasn't that sure of it myself. I realized there was a possibility, that's all. Inspector, surely.
QT43. Actually, it's QT 3.14 if you want to do QT Pie. So you're doing it wrong, buddy.
Surely you're not saying that in order to acquire the second of these music box discs, you did indeed reveal confidential details of the crime scene to the witness? To aid and abet this man in giving false testimony?
There's no other way that Mr. Graydon could have known of the existence of the peephole. It's the only explanation. A deal was struck between these two men. No, girl! Oh my god.
Objection!
If, and I stress if, this sobering assertion turns out to be founded in truth, it would mean that the second disc is, as we speak, here in this very courtroom. Wait, what? In this courtroom? How could you possibly make a claim like that? Because Inspector Gregson is a Scotland Yard detective. What?
What's that supposed to mean, eh?
As a seasoned policeman, the inspector will have approached this alleged deal with caution. Certainly he would not have accepted a gentleman's agreement in this matter. No, he would have insisted on having the article agreed upon in the palm of his hand.
Good gracious! Then you mean to say Inspector Gregson already has the item in question in his possession? He has the second disc actually on his person?
Yes!
The defense demands that the inspector is searched at once.
Definitely. They could only have struck a deal with each other when Genie was testifying before. And Gregsy hasn't moved from the witness stand since.
My lord, please, order an examination of his personal effects immediately.
Huh. Well, Inspector?
Oh, don't tell me he'll be like,
Yeah, go on. Go on then, Sunshine. This young lad wants to tone down his imagination. He's insulted me and my profession quite enough. However, if you'll put this matter to bed and dispel any doubts about my involvement, then I'll happily submit to a body search.
what? He's going to agree to it? I presume you're aware of the precipice on which you now teeter, my learned student friend. You've made a most serious allegation against Scotland Yard here. If, following the search of the inspector's personal effects, no disc is found, you will be deemed unfit for court service. This trial will end, and my country's government will formally demand of yours that you are severely reprimanded. That sounds serious.
Indeed. To have a visiting student make such a defamatory remarks about our country's most senior police force is not something Her Majesty's government will be able to overlook.
You're just threatening Runa because you're scared.
The accusation is beyond serious. You must be prepared for grave consequences. It's true. I can't imagine Gregson would have accepted a gentleman's agreement for something so critical. The disc must have physically changed hands, which means the inspector should have it. But somehow, something doesn't feel quite right here.
Very well, Counsel. You know the implications. So let me ask you one final time.
Yes, my lord.
Do you still persist in formally requesting a search of the inspector's personal effects?
Search someone else? Ah. Save. Of course, dude. Alright. Some people are saying he's bluffing. But what if they haven't exchanged it yet? The brothers are still there. The green one, he planted a disc on him, which was violently shaking. Oh! Oh yeah, that makes sense. He grabbed Nash Skokin. Because he was shaking him, he was like, oh, that guy's right. Because I remember them saying, what's his, like Gregson and Nash were saying like, oh, why haven't you given it to me then yet or something. All right, I'm going with my gut feeling. Yeah, sure, I remember it. And not because some guy reminded me. But I do remember now that he said it. I don't think Inspector Gregson's bluffing. Yes, the defense formally demands the search to be conducted.
Well,
Don't say you weren't warned. But your typical Nipponese stubbornness may well land you in hot water this time. Perhaps the lesson will do you some good.
fair enough. I've got nothing to hide. Very well then. Bailiff, conduct the search of the inspectors.
Haha. The defense demands a search, but not of Inspector Gregson.
What? Now what's all this? I'm the one you're accusing, aren't I? I thought you wanted to search me.
No, no, no. No, Inspector. Not you. Somebody else.
What's the meaning of all this, eh? Lost to the lies, have you, sunshine? The court shouldn't have to put up with this nonsense. You're being completely irrational.
Be quiet, all of you. Iris,
Be quiet, all of you! Runo's doing what you all told him to do, and having the courage of his convictions. So you should respect that and listen to what he has to say in good faith. Because that's the British way, and I'm going to shoot all of you.
that was a weird, patriotic moment at the end there.
Well said, young lady. Indeed, this court is in awe of the defense counsel's conviction and eagerly awaits his next words. You what? Now don't be hasty, my lord.
If I'm not mistaken about the things I've seen in court today. I'm fairly sure that I know who has that disc at the moment. There's only one person it can be.
Counsel, of whom do you request this search now?
Take that!
Of, my lord. Mr. Nash Skoken.
Well, I never!
Eh? Me? Him?
Very well then. Bailiff, restrain the witness and conduct a thorough search of his personal effects. Please, my lord. Inspector? Scotland Yard, I still object to this search.
Objection!
Unfortunately for you, Inspector, your objections carry no weight here.
Hey?
In this courtroom, only the prosecution and the defense have the authority to object.
But Lord Van Zeeks.
I have no idea what forces are in play that might influence your actions. But personally, I have no intention of obstructing the course of this trial.
Bailiff! Oh, bailiff! Carry out the search!
Now, hold on, I don't know nothing. Nothing about no disc. Cut it out! Ah!
Here, my lord, in the witness's pocket. I found this. Good lord! That's...
Another music box disc. I don't know nothing about it. Nothing. That is the second music box disc left behind by Magnus McGilded. Is it not, Inspector Gregson?
Order! Mr. Skoken, what have you to say for yourself?
Gordon Bennett, Gordon blaming Bennett. I swear I didn't know nothing about that dish. Honest to God.
Counsel, would you please explain what exactly is going on here? The alleged deal that was struck was between this witness and this detective, no?
Without question, my lord.
Then for pity's sake, why on earth was this man in possession of the disc that the inspector traded for information?
Inspector Gregson is a shrewd, calculating man who rarely loses his composure. But at one particular point in this trial, he exhibited some unusual behavior for a brief moment.
I don't recall. What unusual behavior? Oh,
It was, yes, during my cross-examination of Mr. Graydon. Tell me, Mr. Graydon, when you left the pawnbrokery that night, was it by any chance with the second disc in your jacket pocket?
I admit to nothing of this sort.
Well, Mr. Graydon answered my questions. The inspector appeared to have grabbed Nash Skoken by his coat and was shaking him violently.
Yeah, he did and all. Thought me noggin was gonna fall clean off, I did. I was wishing I'd been born as me brother, I was.
And what exactly happened to make the detective attack you like that?
I ain't got a clue. He just suddenly turned and grabbed me whistle like that, and he started shaking me. What the blazes did you mention the third gun when you got down to the station? That's what he said. Yelled it right down me ear, all he did. My head's still throbbing now.
Huh.
The way the detective behaved then was extremely out of character, but looking back now, it must have been then that he did it. That was the opportunity Inspector Gregson created for himself in order to hide the disc.
Well, bless my wig. He hid it. You. But I'm afraid I fail to comprehend the motive here. If the detective had acquired the disc he was after, why on earth would he then proceed to hide it in another man's pocket? This is a court of law. He could have submitted the item as evidence.
It would appear, my learned lord, that the inspector was not at liberty to do that. I am so lightheaded right now, you don't even know.
Why ever we not?
As the man himself revealed earlier, his current assignment has some special conditions. I am losing oxygen.
My orders were recover the medium used to convey the secrets leaked from the ministry, and do it on a QT, strictly hush-hush. Hush-hush? A top-secret assignment, is it?
As far as we're aware, the information stolen comes from confidential government communications. It would seem that if that information were to be revealed in court as evidence, it would be problematic. Does that sum up the situation, my lord? There's that. I can't even hear myself. I can't even hear myself. I have monitor on my audio interface. I can't hear myself talk. Bro. I don't want to ruin the intensity and the pacing of the game right now, but I'm so close to finishing it. Does that sum up the situation, Inspector?
I'm operating under direct orders from the ministry. I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to answer that question.
Now I'm so close, I can taste it. We're like 5 minutes away. No, it's not the honey. I need to eat oxygen. I don't need to eat honey. That's for the throat. Eating honey would make it worse. So, realizing there was a chance that you may be searched here in court, you took steps to hide the disc you had acquired from the witness.
Does this mean?
He only pretended to attack Mr. Skoken in order to get close enough to him. To slip the second disc into his pocket.
So it was all a pretense.
I'll find a good place to break. but I'll keep continuing.
Well now, Inspector Gregson and you, Mr. Graydon. Are you prepared to admit to the accusation made against you of this alleged deal?
Admit to it. Yours truly. Please.
Mr. Graydon!
Clearly, our Eastern visitor has an uncommonly active imagination.
Yep, I think pretense is spelled with a C in British way of spelling.
However, there's no proof that I passed that disc to the inspector.
I don't know, I don't remember. Maybe it's a spelling mistake.
Objection!
But then, how do you explain the reason why you knew about that peephole?
I'm under no obligation to explain.
What?
Yes, I lied in my testimony. That I admit, so sentence me accordingly. But that is all I admit.
Why, are you gonna lie again?
Murder, leaking government secrets, striking a deal with the detective. All of it is this young Eastern man's fancy.
I have no idea what any of that is about.
You.
What? Well, what about you then, Inspector Gregson? Do you admit to making a deal with Mr. Graydon in order to acquire the disc?
Ladies and gents of the jury, as a Scotland Yard inspector, I will declare this and nothing more. I am acting in the best interest of the country. Whatever I've done has been in the name of justice. So, as members of the public of this fine country, I'd like to think that justice will be your guiding light when you're making your decisions.
This is quite a quandary indeed. Rarely have I encountered such extraordinary tumultuousness in the concluding of a trial. Nevertheless, in the absence of any further evidence to be presented, I believe it is time that we put the matter to the jury for their final leanings.
Well now, as a fellow servant of the Queen and country, I must say I sympathize with the old inspector.
Yes, he's a dependable man, I'm sure. In service, one becomes a good judge of character. Even crossing your eyes doesn't help with it when it comes to looking at this case. It's all blurred to me. Why is he Russian? It's a Birmingham accent. What do you mean, why is he Russian?
This is a Burmese accent.
Well, as a fellow professional, I'd like to put my faith in the detective, really.
Graydon has highly skilled operator. Stop. Currently in presence of idol. Stop.
Detective has very much trust in our eyes. More than this, I cannot say.
I don't believe it. These 6 jurors are... They're going to believe Gregson if they declare their decision now.
Is Jeannie going to be found guilty?
If I don't manage to produce some definitive evidence right now, then we're going to lose. Either some proof that Graydon killed Mr. Windybank, or stole those government secrets, or some evidence to force Gregson into admitting that he struck a deal with the witness. Hello, Madar.
Well then, counsel, I think it's time I imposed on the jurors to declare their final decisions, no? That is, unless you have some compelling evidence you have thus far not presented to the court.
If I let the judge call on the jurors to announce their leanings, Gina will be found guilty.
So there's no choice then, Runo. You have to throw some more evidence at them.
Oh, come on. This is it now. All comes down to this. Who do I present the evidence against? Gregson or Graydon? Please tell me this is the last part. I can't use the music box. I have to pick one. Or I can leave it to the jury. I'm sorry, I really can't think straight right now to even answer. My mind's like empty. I'm gonna have to ask the jury, and that's you viewers, to answer for me because I can't think. I don't even know. I can't even remember the last 30 dialogue lines I just read. Leave it to the jury, Greg. You have the music box and the discs to play them to Gregson. I'm kind of interested to just leave it to the jury, to be honest. Maybe some of them might believe me. Or is it good to leave it to the jury? I don't know. Yeah, we don't really have evidence to confirm Graydon killed Windy Banks. I'm so curious though. Curiosity killed the cat though. They're all already on guilty. Jury is not an option. Come on. You can always reload. Jury will call guilty. Gregson is the only choice. Save and do all options. Okay, lots of people are saying Gregson. Make a poll, why not? Graydon. Gregson. Jury Limau. Kinda wanna see jury just to see what happens. 88% Gregson, okay. 12% jury. They're probably the shit posters. Oh, 32% now. 64%. Jury bros rise up. Jury Limau. Alright, we'll go with Gregson. We're gonna go with I'm gonna go with Gregson, but let's see what jury does. Is that alright with you guys? I let's just say I 100% chose Gregson. But I'm curious to see what the jury will say. Maybe some of them might say not guilty. Who knows, right? I can't possibly decide this. I think all I can do is leave it in the jury's hand. No, Runo. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, come on. Illusion of choice, man. Illusion of choice. Why did I think this game was like gave you a good choice? Ah. Whoa, Inspector Gregson cock-blocked. Wait, keep going. Wait, is there actually something? Wait, Sekiro, is there actually something after that? Or did I just like miss a secret cutscene? It's just the game calling you a dumbass. Yeah, probably. Keep going to lose HP. Okay. Inspector Gregson, there's one final piece of evidence I would like you to see.
Hey? What's that then?
If you refuse to acknowledge what you did in fact strike a deal with the witness here today, you leave us no choice but to examine this piece of evidence thoroughly.
Well, go on.
This is my last chance. Bro, we had like 3 other last chances. Looks like I'm going to have to force his hand here. One final piece of evidence to get this detective to admit to the deal he clearly struck with Graydon. What's the evidence, though? Oops. Box, music box.
Take that!
Thank you, man. You guys are holding my hand because I physically cannot think right now.
Is that Mr. McGilda's peculiar music box, Counsel?
Yes, with the disc already in place, ready to play. I think perhaps now would be a good time to listen to the sound produced by the music box again. Only this time, with the second disc we just discovered set in place as well.
Goodness! This disc, Counsel?
No, wait! I can't let you do that.
Why not?
Because, well... Because it's got nothing to do with this case, that's why.
Objection.
Not true, Inspector.
Hey? Oh, hey?
The defense has already proposed that the sounds heard by the court earlier from this music box were part of a Morse code message. We know that Morse code comprises of 2 distinct tones. The defense believes that that second disc contains the second tone needed to complete the message. And now we have a chance to confirm that theory.
For crying out loud, Sunshine. We're talking about state secrets here. If you go letting the whole courtroom hear confidential information like that, it's treason.
Then, do you admit the charge? That in order to protect those state secrets, you engage in unlawful dealings with the witness.
You're mad. If you let that secret information out in the public domain, you'll be making an enemy of the entire British government, you idiot.
Objection.
Let's not forget, Inspector, that you, a Scotland Yard officer, leaked confidential case details to a witness. That you continue to lie to the court. And all because by fair means or foul, you're determined to do your duty. Well, by fair means or foul, I'm prepared to do mine.
Don't you dare!
I will stop at nothing to protect my client. I don't care who I make an enemy of. Oh, a Court Van Zeek. My lord, if you please. The court must hear the sounds made by that music box.
Come on, Van Zeek! For Pete's sake, stop him!
Objection!
Lick my shoe, Gregson. Inspector, you should know my methods by now. I'm a prosecutor. I'm no Scotland Yard puppet. In this courtroom, my duty is to the law. So let me propose a toast. To uncovering the truth, by fair means or foul.
No! Very well. The defense's stance here, and that of the prosecution, has been made very clear, I feel. Therefore, in accordance with the defense's request, the court will now listen as this music box is set in operation once more. This time, with a second disc in place and both discs playing simultaneously.
Oh, listen to that. It's unmistakable now. It's Morse code.
Alright, I admit it. Whatever you want, but for the love of God, shut that bloomin' box up!
I mean, they're gonna explain the Morse code, obviously. Let me ask you again then. Inspector Gregson. Did you, or did you not, strike a deal with the witness next to you in the stand, Mr. Ashley Graydon?
Specifically, you furnished the witness with confidential case details in exchange for this music box disc. Did you reveal the existence of the peephole in the pawnbroker's storeroom door, Inspector?
I did.
Stop! What are you doing, man?
It's all exactly like the young Eastern lawyer said. When the trial resumed after the recess, and we were stood here in the stand together. That's when he approached me with the deal.
Shut up, you imbecile! Shut up!
Psst, you there. You're the detective who turned up at the pawnbrokery the other day, aren't you? I may have something you're looking for, Inspector, with me at this very moment. So how about a trade? I suggest you accept. Or information that may make certain individuals uncomfortable will soon become very public indeed. I couldn't let that information become public knowledge. Not under circumstances.
Gregson got blackmailed.
So I accepted the man's proposal and told him details about the case that should have put him in the clear. The peephole in the storeroom door, and the blood stains on the overcoat.
By giving false testimony, this witness intended to have the defendant wrongly accused of murder. Inspector, you knew that. Yet you still revealed those details to facilitate the witness's perjury.
I did. But then it turned out the peephole had only been made that night, after the incident took place.
Yeah, he was just trying to do his job and his duty.
Scotland Yard wasn't aware of that, if I'm perfectly honest.
Well, Mr. Graydon, what do you have to say for yourself? There's nothing and no one left for you to hide behind. You struck a deal with the inspector in order to escape conviction of a very serious crime, namely this. You are the third intruder who broke into the pawnbrokery on the night in question. And you perpetrated the murder of the proprietor, Mr. Pop Windybank.
You. Traitor!
Oh shit!
I'm gonna kill you, damn Inspector! Bailiff! Bailiff! Restrain that man at once!
That's it then. It's all over. It's all over. I can see the light. Figuratively and literally. This is great and 100%.
I despised my life growing up. Those slums are vile places. I was cursed from birth, born into poverty, the son of a penniless artisan. My parents did nothing but quarrel all day long. What little money they had was never spent on me. So I set about studying to better myself, to one day escape from that hellhole.
And you eventually became a communications officer. I admire your determination.
But then you decided to try to sell government secrets. Why?
Isn't it obvious? Because I wanted money. Even now, years later, the nightmares of my life in the slums wake me up in the small hours. I wanted to drown them out with more money than anyone who lived in that squalor could ever imagine. And one day, I met him. Mr. Magnus McGilded.
You're a fiend with a queer talent, so you are. I've money to throw your way if you're interested. All you need to do is go along with me little plan now.
I was to steal the ministry's telegraphic message logs, and MacGilded would buy them for a handsome sum. As I was responsible for inspections of the ministry's communications office, it was a simple enough task. Allure of the devil's offerings. How easy it is to succumb.
You must surely have realized the seriousness of the crime you were committing.
And for that reason, I took great lengths to ensure that my actions were untraceable. But using the music box, my father was a brickmaker, though my mother divorced him when I was still a child.
Yes, Mr. Mason Milverton.
That's right. He was very skilled with his hands. He'd once been a music box maker's apprentice. I imagine his skills would be sufficient to create a machine that could generate Morse code. So I sought out my father again to employ his services. It was the first time I'd seen him since I left the slums 10 years earlier.
Look at you, Ashley. What a fine gent you've become,
He was a different man to the one in my memory. A thin, frail old man. But poverty had never broken him, never corrupted him like it had me. I was sure that he wouldn't help me if I told him the real reason, so I made up a story. I've got some work for you, Father. I need some music box discs made. Music box discs, eh? A musician friend of mine had written some music he wanted to sell. Oh, a musician friend of mine has written some music he wanted to sell to the public. I've brought the score with me. There are two, actually. I'd be delighted, son. It's been 20 years since I did any work like this, though. Fetch my tools, would you? They're in the loft. That's how I had him make the 2 discs. Thereby splitting the information in 2. You were taking considerable precautions indeed. It was to protect myself as much as anything. It meant that I could deal with McGilded in 2 separate transactions. The first involved the first of the 2 discs, and the music box for playing them. I exchanged them with McGilded for 10 guineas. Then, on receipt of the second disc, he would pay us 1,000 guineas. So, what happened on the omnibus two months ago? Was the second part of a deal. The exchange of the second disc. Yes. I'd sold the man information that way a number of times already. But it seems he became reluctant to part with his money.
But that doesn't quite make sense, Mr. Graydon. For why was it that on the omnibus 2 months ago, your father, Mr. Milverton, was the one dealing with Mr. McGilded and not yourself?
When I received 1,000 guineas after my first completed dealings with McGilded, I decided to give 200 to my father for his troubles. But my father realized something was amiss. In time, he worked out that I must be involved in something dubious. And when he did, he said to me,
next time there's an exchange, you let your old man do it. And understand? Otherwise, I won't take your money anymore.
that was my father's way of dealing with it, I suppose. Climb into the omnibus, hand over the second disc, and take the money from McGilded. That's it. He had no idea what was actually on the discs I'd asked him to make. He never knew. Just like I'll never know why everything went so horribly wrong that night. All I know is that the disc was taken from him, and he never returned home. It was only then that I found out what sort of a monster McGilded really was. So after 10 years of not once uttering it, I swore my father's name. To exact revenge. Revenge? As anyone with even the remotest knowledge of the man will no doubt be able to imagine. McGilded brought all his wealth and influence to bear in the most despicable of ways. To crush any semblance of justice in his trial. A crime scene was tampered with, evidence was fixed, and witnesses were bribed. The trial 2 months ago was a farce from start to finish. My feet had barely touched British soil back then, and I walked into that hornet's nest completely unaware of the sinister background to it all. I've made plenty of money out of my dealings with MacGilded by then, so I spared nothing in my arrangements 2 months ago. I knew exactly who to hire. If you're willing to pay the price, there are people in this city willing to do anything you ask. MacGilded himself had shown me that. Are you saying that? I think you have the picture now. After he twisted everything to his favor in this courtroom to ensure that he walked free, I took matters into my own hands and delivered the justice that monster deserved. That tragic incident, following the trial here 2 months ago, was planned and executed by yours truly. MacGilded's death that day was caused by this man. Everything is ready, sir. If you'd like to follow me into the courtroom. What's this, officer? 'Tis sooner than I was led to believe. I hope it's not so inconvenient, sir. There were some changes to the schedule. Ugh. Well, I must be making tracks now. This time for the inspection. I'm going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself. Yeah, it was him all along. So that policeman who came to tell MacGilded he could examine the omnibus again. That's right, an imposter, hired by me. MacGilded used his wealth to manipulate the trial. He paid people to adulterate the omnibus with all manner of false evidence. He threatened witnesses to lie in their testimony. So I gave the man a taste of his own medicine. Once the omnibus was doused in paraffin, one of my sham policemen ushered MacGilded inside and sent him on a one-way journey to hell. An eye for an eye. That's how I avenged my father's death.
A spine-chilling account indeed.
But that wasn't the end. That wasn't the end of it for me. It was a loose end, you see. A loose end? Yes, I should think it's obvious. The second disc, which my father had taken to exchange with MacGilded.
Oh, yes. There was indeed no mention of it in the man's trial 2 months ago. Clearly because it had been removed from the scene of the crime.
When I realized it was missing, I remembered something. Something from the first time I dealt with MacGilded. This is the first of the 2 discs, and the music box you need to play them. Well, look at that now. What an ingenious little invention. So then, as promised, 10 guineas for you, young man.
What's this? Windy Bank's pawnbrokery.
Aye, 'tis a pawnbroker's ticket, so it is. You can use it to redeem an article. I've deposited there for you. There's no need to give a name. Just give over the ticket and tell the fiend a watchword. I put the jewel in pawn for you. It'll fetch a good 10 guineas if you sell it, so it will.
I've never heard of a pawnbroker being used in quite that way before.
Have you not, Mr. Graydon? London's pawnbrokeries are very useful places, you know. Each one is like an extremely secure vault.
So I knew that if he'd taken steps to hide the disc, it would be in that pawnbrokery somewhere. And that on the night he killed my father, he must have entrusted the ticket to someone.
Yes, to Gina. I remember now that when we first met,
Then when we first met you at Windy Banks that afternoon 2 days ago, you had the description of Miss Lestrade written down. How did you know who you were looking for? From the trial, the pickpocket's testimony was clearly peculiar. Anyone could see that. I realized immediately that she was another of MacGilded's pawns, that he must have threatened her somehow. I was fairly convinced it would be her who had the ticket, so I started to make some inquiries. I had a strong suspicion the girl would come out of the woodwork on the redemption deadline. And he was absolutely right. And yes, sure enough, she did. All I needed to do was to wait until the girl went to Windy Banks to redeem the articles. But unfortunately, she redeemed only MacGilded's overcoat, and the one disc that was in its pocket. The all-important music box with the second disc inside was missing. Because it had already been forfeited 2 days ago. But I was unaware of that fact. Had I not been, I could have avoided my nighttime excursion.
Meanwhile, as our investigation into the stolen government secrets was progressing, we picked up on the fact that MacGilded was involved.
Inspector, you've recovered fast.
My orders were to recover the stolen information as quickly as possible, so we started gathering the fellas' possessions and examining whatever we could lay our hands on. We had a full-scale investigation going on at the yard, but we had to keep at it as quiet as we could. And when the inspector here took the disc from me in the pawnbrokery that day, I became nervous. I was sure the music box and the second disc were still in the shop somewhere. So I knew that it was a race against time. I had to find those articles before the police did.
So that's what prompted you to break into the place that same night. With the help of your old friends, the Skoken brothers.
What happened that night in the pawnbrokery, I can only describe as a nightmare. While Nash and Ringo were searching the counter, I'd located the music box I'd sold to MacGilded on the shelves of forfeited articles.
And the second disc was inside.
Yes, I slipped it into my pocket with a very deep sigh of relief. But then, something entirely unexpected happened.
What are you doing in my shop?
A gunshot rang out in the shop, and I felt a sharp pain in my left arm. The broker fired his gun, and the bullet pierced your limb. Yes, exactly. But unfortunately, I decided to bring my own gun with me that night, just in case. Before I knew what was happening, I'd fired back. The man had already turned to flee. I hadn't intended to find his direction, much less kill him. But unfortunately, for both of us, the bullet hit home. It struck him in the middle of his back as he fled through the storeroom door for refuge. Sorry tale. It all took place in the blink of an eye. I don't imagine Nash and Ringo even realized what had happened at first. I was terrified, so I fled. And that's the whole story. That's everything that happened at Windy Banks on that wretched night.
Earlier, you called MacGilded a monster. A man who used his wealth and influence to distort the facts and escape justice for the crime of murder. What tragic irony.
What you have done is exactly the same. You've become the very monster you saw and despised so deeply in MacGilded. Yes, I think I have.
Well, this has been a long and exhausting trial.
Oh, you tell me, man.
However, it would seem that at last we have arrived at the truth. Inspector Gregson, what of Mr. Ashley Graydon?
He's been restrained, my lord. He's been escorted to the yard. He'll be charged with the murder of Mr. Windybank and the stealing of government secrets.
Very good. And you, Inspector? Regrettably, you will have to face charges yourself.
Yes, my lord. Of course. It transpires that you were complicit in helping a criminal escape justice. That fact remains whether or not you were doing so in the line of duty. The crime is a serious one, Inspector, and inexcusable.
Now to the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade.
Oh, yeah.
It is time for the final adjudication. Is the jury ready, Mr. Foreman?
Yes, sir. Gary Dib Squadron standing by, sir. This is really it now. The last push, the final call, the finishing whistle. My men are ready to deliver their verdicts.
Thank you, Foreman. Very well. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will now declare your final decisions to the court.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Haha, that's the stuff. I'm off the hook. I can't do Iris' voice. I really don't have the energy, man. I'm sorry, guys. I physically can't. Like, you can hear it on my voice. It's really straining. Oh. Finally, Runo, you finally managed to do it. Finally is the word. Really wasn't sure it would come out on top for a while there.
Miss Lestrade, I'm not finished with you yet.
Eh? What? What are you looking at me? What are you looking at me like that for?
Before you start enjoying your freedom, there are certain other crimes to consider,
Eh?
2 months ago in my courtroom, no less, you gave false testimony. Did you not? And in relation to the trial today, not only did you unlawfully enter Windybank's pawnbrokery, you also attempted to abscond with Mr. McGildred's property, it seems.
Eh? I never done nothing of the sort. Of course not. It's not like you were gleefully wearing McGildred's coat in your cell yesterday or anything.
Oh, I think just when I was getting excited about throwing a party for Ginny this evening. And turning our attention to the defense. Determining that when played together, the defense's the music box discs contained a message in Morse code was... Well, it was certainly a most unexpected revelation, Counsel.
Quite so, my lord. The prosecution was caught entirely off guard. In fact, I think we should applaud my learned friend's courage here today. I propose a toast. To demanding that government secrets be disseminated before the entire courtroom.
Ah. Very sorry about that. It was the only way that I could get Inspector Gregson to admit what he done, so...
Isn't that... It's sounds produced by the music box before. I do wonder if that was really Morse code at all. What? What are you saying, madam? Oh, well, it's just that I'm really rather fanatical when it comes to Morse code, you see. So much so that the world seems to be covered in dots and dashes to me, in fact.
Goodness, madam, an unhealthy level of obsession one feels.
But I must say that, in my opinion, the sounds produced by those two discs were nothing more than that. A meaningless series of two different tones. What? Can that really be? It wasn't Morse code after all? My lord, the defense would like to listen to the music box again.
I hope you know how many times do I have to tell you? Does this contain minstrel secrets, sunshine?
This courtroom is not an appropriate forum to discuss the nature of government communications. We know McGilded conspired to trade national secrets with our enemies, secrets acquired from Mr. Graydon. Now that the man has admitted to his crimes, we have no need to pursue the matter further. But it's really going to bother me.
Miss Lestrade.
Yeah, my lord?
That which you have seen today here in this courtroom has been extremely disturbing.
Falsified evidence, intimidation, perjury, a grim catalogue of depravity.
An appalling experience to befall any child.
Come on, it ain't nothing I don't see most days in the back slums.
I beg your pardon?
If you're weak, you pay for it. That's just how life goes. Gina. But look, I reckon I've worked something out today. The world ain't fair, but if you want it to change, you've gotta start at home. You gotta change how you are yourself.
Well, that's a very laudable lesson, I would say. I eagerly look forward to the born-again Miss Lestrade never gracing my courtroom with her presence again. Now, with regard to the murder of Mr. Pop Windybank, proprietor of a pawnbrokery business on Baker Street, I hereby declare the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade.
That's a nice little touch. I want to celebrate, but I'm so tired.
That is all. Court adjourned.
Finally. Why is it just us in here? Oh. I really want to voice this scene since it looks really cool, but oh man, I'm so tired. I really I'm so sorry, guys. I can't. I've tried so hard to just keep pushing myself, but I can't. I'm sorry. Oh. My vision's getting blurry. I don't know if that's normal. And my hands are feeling like the blood's leaving my body. Now we'll just pick it up next week. I can't even be bothered to do normal voice. I'm gonna save it here. Oh. It's not lack of sugar, man. I don't know why everyone's saying lack of sugar. I've been shouting for the past like 3 hours. Oh. I'd like to see you shot for like 3 hours, and then tell me, oh yeah, just eat some sugar, dude. Oh man, I'm gonna have to end it here. I'm sorry. I've tried really hard to just keep pushing myself. I can't. My breathing, breathing is getting really hard. 4 hours. Give me a sec. Oh. Ah. Sorry. Oh my, like you, I can read, I can even tell how strained my voice is from the way it sounds. Like it doesn't even. Oh, I'm not even hitting my Adam's apple anymore. It's just really high. Yeah, I'm probably gonna hit the bit. I'll just save it here. Yeah, man. I tried, I really did. I tried to commit to the bit. I tried to keep up with the delivery, but like I just kept tripping over the words at the end, and I even have trouble reading the words near the end. My visions got really blurry. My arms feel so weird right now. I'll just end it with a Tatsuro. Where is it? Right on time. All right. Sorry for ending it on a slightly depressing note. Thanks for joining. I might have to hold it back next time. We'll end it on the end. The end of the song. Thank you for sticking around.
I'm here. I'm just listening to the music while lying back on my chair. 'Cause I don't want to interrupt Mr. Tatsuro Yamashita and his performance. Thank you for everyone. All right. Thanks for joining, everyone. And I'll see you in the next one. And may the sun shine brightly throughout your day.